framed.
6 till 8 and every weekday evening for you to phone in and have your say on two North East clubs. So Newcastle unchanged. Liverpool have made two changes. Joel Matip's come in at centre-back in place of the injured Ibrahima Konate, and the other change sees in midfield the Japanese international Wataru Endo, who they signed from Stuttgart last week for £16 million, replaced Diogo Jota, who is on the bench. Before we have a bit of analysis, Ando, on Liverpool and areas of the Liverpool side that Newcastle can maybe look to exploit and get the better of, what do you think about the needle that seems to exist now between the clubs and the rivalry that's there? Because probably a lot of Newcastle fans haven't always had a lot of love for Liverpool in recent times, but it really intensified last season after the defeat at Anfield. Deep into injury time, there was exchanges on the two benches that led to fines being issued, and then at St James's Park it didn't go so well either when they played them in February. It does feel, certainly from maybe a supporter point of view, that things are, well, a little more hot than they perhaps would have been in the years that Newcastle was struggling. And of course they beat them to the final Champions League place last season as well.
Yeah, look at it. I think that niggle is more with supporters than it is with anybody else. You know, a lot of it's to do with the game at Anfield last year, when the referee played well over the allotted time and Liverpool got the winner, and there was a little bit of a Barney between the benches. Don't mind that, you know. I think a lot's been made of it. I think the media make a lot out of it as well, you know. I mean, Klopp isn't the most popular on supporters' Christmas list, so we say. He's you know, some of the things he said, but I thought he was pretty complimentary on Friday. You know, we deserve to be where we are, deserve to be qualified for the Champions League. I just think it's been built up, and I think it's a good thing as well. You know, you want that little bit of friction, you want a little bit of it, as long as it doesn't go too far.
Yeah, well, let's hear from Jurgen Klopp, the visiting manager, because the Liverpool boss, he has annoyed some Newcastle fans with his comments about their spending and financial clout following the takeover 2 years ago. He also joked about the changes to the technical area protocols that he said only really affect Newcastle, given the way that Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall would work together as a duo on the touchline. But as Ando has made reference to before the match, Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool's manager, has been actually saying some nice things about Newcastle.
It's an away game at Newcastle. Newcastle is an incredibly strong team, qualified for the Champions League, fully deserved. Super development under Eddie Howe, I have to say. Smart business. Don't want to miss anybody, but probably the two stand out in this window, Tonali and Barnes. Really good, really good business. Super intense style, massive atmosphere there. So this is a tough one. Played a really good first game, where Aston Villa was really good as well, to be honest. In the end, the result didn't reflect probably the full game, but in the end, how they used their counter-attacks and stuff like that was absolutely exceptional. So the speed they have is really good to Newcastle since last year at least. They don't concede a lot, but score. So, yeah, that's a proper game.
Total Sport North East.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Jurgen Klopp complimentary about Newcastle's style of play, and it's not a fixture that they will relish like maybe they used to. They'll be expecting a game, and it's midfield, isn't it, that I think we're most interested in, because Liverpool's midfield is new for this season. Dominik Szoboszlai, the Hungarian international, 60 million from RB Leipzig. He's a player Newcastle and Eddie Howe wanted, but he was just too expensive for them. Alexis McAllister, only 35, relatively. inexpensive compared to other signings from Brighton. And then the player we mentioned, Wataru Endo, comes in today. So that's new for them. And Newcastle, well, especially as the game went at the start and then in the second half against Aston Villa, a really strong midfield performance. So yeah, I wonder how it's going to go today.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. Look at the performance against Villa was excellent. You know, we could have scored more, but we could have conceded a lot more as well. You know, Villa had chances in that game as well. I think you can get at this Liverpool side. I think defensively they're not good. I think they showed that against Bournemouth last week. They conceded a goal in the first minute, although it was ruled out for offside, and then they conceded again 2 minutes later. Started the game really sloppily. I think if they do that here today, they won't get away with it. You know, I think they'll play the penalty big style. But you know, we've got to be our usual selves, especially here at St James's. Start quickly, get into their faces, make life difficult for them. I think Alexander-Arnold's probably the one that you can get at. Not the greatest defender, good footballer, you know, good on the ball, uses it well, gets forward well, but when it comes to the defensive side of the game, no, he'll always give you an opportunity.
But he'll move into midfield a bit, won't he? A bit like Manchester City do with their full-backs, and then centre-halves like to cover.
Yeah, a little bit like Manchester City did here in that 3-3 game last season when they played inverted full-backs. You know, they didn't play like full-backs at all. And if he does that here today, you know, Gordon could have the run of the pitch.
And they've got Matip in instead of the injured Konate,
yeah.
So
yeah, and I think Matip will give you a chance. You know, he's not the quickest in the world. I don't think Van Dijk's been the same since he picked that injury up. You know, I don't think he's ever really recovered from that injury. He hasn't been the same player. So, as I say, from a defensive point of view, I think they'll give you plenty of chances.
Newcastle unchanged. Pope in goal. Trippier, Schär, Botman, Byrne. Midfield of Tonali, Bruno, Joelinton, Almiron, Gordon and Isak, whose debut came at Liverpool almost a year ago, put Newcastle 1-0 up not long before half-time, and then had that second controversially disallowed. That means the bench today: Dubravka, Lascelles, Wilson, who still waiting to start this season, Targett, Barnes, Livramento, Jacob Murphy is back, Anderson and Longstaff. Matt Ritchie is the player who drops out and misses out from the squad that was named last week, and Lewis Hall not involved for Newcastle despite training this week following his arrival from Chelsea on an initial loan that'll become permanent next summer. Liverpool's team is Alisson, the goalkeeper, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he went off with a knock last weekend but has been past fit to play, Joel Matip, who comes in for Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk, their new club captain, taking over from Jordan Henderson, who's now in Saudi Arabia, and Andy Robertson. The midfield three, Wataru Endo, Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister, who was set to miss the match after being sent off against Bournemouth last weekend, but the red card was overturned following Liverpool's appeal, and probably the right decision as well. And then the front three, Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz, who has scored in both of Liverpool's matches in the Premier League this season before today, a draw at Chelsea and then the victory over Bournemouth. The Liverpool substitutes bench: Kevin Kelleher, the goalkeeper, Joe Gomez, Darwin Nunez, Harvey Elliott, Diogo Jota, the other player to drop out of their starting 11, Kostas Tsimikas, and then three young players, midfielder Stefan Bajcetic, who started this match last season when Liverpool came to Tyneside in February. 17-year-old Scottish midfielder, very highly regarded, Ben Doak, and another academy player with number 78 on his shirt, Jarrell Quansah. Those are the two teams. It's BBC Radio Newcastle with a quarter of an hour to go until the match gets underway. It's going to be refereed by John Brooks from Leicestershire. Last time he officiated a Newcastle fixture in the Premier League. They were beaten by Aston Villa away in April. The assistant referees Lee Betts and Akil Howson. Craig Pawson's the fourth official, and on VAR duty is Stuart Atwell, who was the referee yesterday at Manchester United Nottingham Forest, wasn't he? And there are some reports today that Nottingham Forest could make an official complaint about him, given the decisions that didn't go their way at Old Trafford, the red card and the Manchester United penalty yesterday. But he's on VAR duty, so no rest.
Have you seen the red card?
I've seen the red card. I've seen both of them. Yeah.
Did you think it was the right decision?
It's a foul, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Penalty. Not a huge amount.
But you've seen them given, haven't you? You know, that's the thing. There is contact. There was knee on knee. And I think players in that situation, forward players, are always going to go down. Was it a clear and obvious error? You would probably say no.
Well, Stuart Atwell, having refereed that match in the view of some, particularly those from the East Midlands, controversially, is the VAR for Newcastle United against Liverpool today. We'll hear from Eddie Howe again in a moment, and as the players finish their warm-up with some shooting practice. It's mostly the substitutes who are out on the field now. The starting 11s have gone inside. Liverpool are all back in their changing room. We'll see the war flags display soon. It may well be something to acknowledge Bruno Guimaraes, who had this social media exchange with a fan account earlier in the week. The posts have been deleted. He was responding to some comments about the Manchester City match and what was probably implied criticism of him and his performance. He will, as always, get a lot of love from the St James's Park crowd because they adore him.
Yeah, you know me and social media. Just stay off it. Just stay off it. Look, it's great when things are going well and you're getting all the plaudits and you're loving it and you're replying back and one thing and another. But when a little bit of criticism comes, you've got to be able to take that as well. You know, it's part and parcel. If you want to go on it, you've got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, and if you're not on social media or you're not using it actively, then, as Eddie Howe would put it, you're not in that world, and then you're not going to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Newcastle substitutes heading back inside then. An unchanged team. Jacob Murphy back on the bench in place of Matt Ritchie. No Lewis Hall this afternoon. The sun is coming out here in central Newcastle, which is nice because we got soaked earlier when we arrived. So did the pitch, obviously. But
weather today's been unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 minute it's like middle of summer. Next minute it's like the middle of winter.
T-shirt weather at the moment, though. But looking good ahead of kick-off. One final thing, just to mention that if you watch the highlights later on Match of the Day 2, then you may notice that the dugout areas look a bit different. Newcastle have had to make some alterations. I suppose you could call them improvements to the two dugouts and the bench areas. They've put a new roof on, and how it looks now is that there are now 19 seats on each bench, which is in line with the minimum requirements from UEFA for the Champions League. So they've had to extend particularly the away dugout by a little bit. It's not in honour of Liverpool's arrival. It's all to do with the Champions League, which will be with us in just a few weeks' time, and the draw will be made on Thursday. So not long to wait until we find out who Newcastle will be playing in the Champions League and where they'll be travelling to on the continent over the next few months. BBC Radio Newcastle, and we'll have the whole match live from 4:30 this afternoon. Let's hear from Eddie Howe then. Liverpool, their opponents today, took it down to the final week of the season, but Newcastle in May won the battle for Champions League football. Liverpool having to settle for a spot in the Europa League. Eddie Howe, though, expects Jurgen Klopp's team, along with the likes of Chelsea and Spurs, to hit back this season.
a reaction from them? Yeah, of course, because top people working at those football clubs, and they'll feel energised and motivated to achieve what they can. But we can't focus on that. We can't focus on them. We can't focus on what they're going to do. We can only focus on what we're going to do. And for us, it's about making sure we come back into this season a better team than one we exited last season. Time will tell if that's the case. Certainly from the early signs, I like the look of us. I think the squad as a whole looks stronger, but it's all about turning that into results, which is going to be key.
It's always a big game, always feels big, doesn't it, playing Liverpool?
Yeah, it does. I mean, these games are iconic, really, throughout the Premier League. Newcastle v Liverpool battles. Last year we were disappointed. Two defeats for us. The one at Anfield was a difficult night. The last minute of that game has been replayed in my mind many times. And the game at home was also painful in a different way, probably more painful for Nick and what happened, for him. And then missing the cup final, and it was a day where we didn't start very well, but I thought we played really well with 10 men against their 11.
And lastly, they've made some changes to their squad. Quite a few senior players who've been there a while had left, particularly from midfield, and they brought some new signings in. Only 2 games into the new season, but what have you observed in terms of changes, if there are any, in the way that they go about things?
Yeah, slight tweaks, I'd say, but I don't think the main principles have changed. They're still very, very good at what they've been historically good at for the last 4 or 5 years. Very difficult team to play against, but they're building a new team, you'd say, with slightly different characteristics in midfield. But an elite team, an elite manager, very, very good, and they're going to come back strong for sure. So we know this is a really good early test again for us, following on from Manchester City and Aston Villa.
People are talking about AI ending the world. At the minute, AI just seems to be good at providing people singing people's songs.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
There was an AI of Frank Sinatra doing like loads of modern songs and stuff. It was really cool. Do you want to hear the latest one? Do you want to hear the latest one? Yes. So Sam Fender's song being covered by Homer Simpson.
The sickness was forever. Cold September's the distances we covered.
It's the song you never thought you needed to hear.
He's better singer than I thought.
Because you're when you thought.
He loves it a bit there, didn't he?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Like, if AI is just going to do this and not take over the world, I'm here for it.
The sound of the North East at breakfast. BBC Radio Newcastle, making a difference in the North East.
Total Sport North East.
The sound of
Newcastle United.
They want Kieran Trippier over the wall. It is Trippier. Oh, yes! Absolutely out of this world. Here they go again. Longstaff into the corner on the right. Back to Isak. Has another wall. This is outrageous. Newcastle United have 5.
Great sport kicks off here.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
I'd take a repeat of that today, wouldn't you? Nice to be reminded of 2 of the best games of last season. Manchester City there with a Trippier free kick, and then Isak sticking in number 5 against Spurs.
The Manchester City game was phenomenal. I know it was only a 3-3 draw, but the game and the quality of it was phenomenal from both sides. It was one of those games that you didn't want to end. And the Spurs game was just, what happened in that opening 20 minutes was absolutely extraordinary.
Probably never to be repeated, you would think. The atmosphere building, and it felt a little bit quieter than normal, but now the black and white flags are out all around St James's Park, and at the Gallowgate end, giant banners depicting a number of the players, with images of Bruno, Eddie Howe, Kieran Trippier, Callum Wilson, Harvey Barnes is there. They've got one of Miguel Almiron, Alexander Isak, Sandro Tonali and Jamal Lascelles, the club captain, proudly in the middle of the Gallowgate end on one of the banners. And then in the Gallowgate corner, the Strawberry corner, where the safe standing section is, Vamos Bruno, 3 flags acknowledging their favourite midfielder, who, as we said earlier, will get plenty of support and plenty of love from the crowd today. Nick Pope in goal. Last season in this fixture, the red card came on 22 minutes for him. Newcastle were already 2-0 down though at that stage, so they were losing when they were reduced to 10 men. Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman and Dan Burn, Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton, Miguel Almiron, Anthony Gordon, who'll be desperate to do well today against Liverpool, and Alexander Isak on the bench. Dubravka, Lascelles, Wilson, Targett, Barnes, Livramento, Murphy, Anderson, Longstaff. Here they are. Kieran Trippier turns to the Gallagher end to his right and applauds, as do many of his colleagues who follow him out onto the field. And last of all is Bruno, carrying a very young mascot, could well be his son, wearing ear defenders, which he'll need given the noise of the public address system at St James's Park. Television cameras are focused on the Newcastle players as they stand next to the officials and their Liverpool opponents facing our commentary position here in the Milburn stand. Black and white stripes, black shorts and white socks. Pope in luminous yellow, Liverpool all in red, with Alisson the keeper wearing green, and referee John Brooks and his assistants in light blue shirts, black shorts and socks. Liverpool, whose last defeat in the Premier League was on the 1st of April against Manchester City away from home. That's 13 matches across 2 seasons without losing in the league. Alisson the goalkeeper, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson. In midfield, Waturo Endo came on with about half an hour to play last weekend after Liverpool had been reduced to 10 men. Alexis McAllister sent off, but suspension will not be served. They won their appeal for wrongful dismissal. He's in midfield, and the other player there, one to keep an eye on, one that Newcastle were keeping an eye on, but he went to Liverpool, Dominic Szoboszlai. Mo Salah scored the rebound from his penalty that was saved against Bournemouth. Luis Diaz 2-2, and Cody Gakpo, who was on target in this fixture last season. Liverpool's forward players, their bench: Kevin Kelleher, the keeper, Joe Gomez, Darwin Nunez, Harvey Elliott, Diogo Jota, Kostas Tsimikas, Stefan Bajcetic, Ben Doak and Jarrell Quansah. It's more like it, a bit more noise.
Yeah, good atmosphere. As you said earlier, it's felt a little bit quieter, a little bit subdued, but the noise levels have definitely risen in the last 10 minutes or so.
The two skippers, Trippier and Van Dijk, are with some of the mascots in the centre circle, posing for photographs, and the teams high-fiving. Could be just Newcastle that go into a huddle. Liverpool are lining up as the youngsters run off, each with a ball. And we're almost ready to go. An embrace between Van Dijk and Trippier. And Newcastle's skipper today runs into the huddle. Final words before they get down to it against Liverpool, looking for a first victory against them in almost 8 years. The only team to do the double over them last season. It was painful, and they would really love to get one over on them. Newcastle are going to kick up towards the Leazes end in the first half. That's from right to left as we look. Liverpool start the match with Szoboszlai playing it back to Matip, forwards into midfield, and we're underway on BBC Radio Newcastle and NUFC TV. Liverpool with a quick break. Szoboszlai into the penalty area with Botman. Wins a corner. On this near right-hand side.
Good little ball, wasn't it?
20 seconds on the clock. Trent Alexander-Arnold is preparing to deliver it. Everybody defending in the box in Newcastle black and white. It's lofted up towards the back of the 6-yard box. Pope came, didn't get there, behind off a Liverpool player for a goal kick.
Yeah, he got caught in no man's land, didn't he? Just came off the top of Van Dijk's head and just looped over the top of the crossbar.
They've left Salah and Gakpo next to the D. Newcastle, Botman and Schär in the box, but they're going to go forwards. They're going to go longer. Joe Linton's on the left wing. He now comes in off the touchline, but Endo with the header. Then Schär rises to nod it forwards. Szoboszlai on, Schär out to this near side. Byrne couldn't keep it in. And a throw in the middle of Newcastle's half. Matip back to Van Dijk, who wasn't sure initially if it had enough pace on it. It came to the Dutchman and it played a good ball out to the right wing, but Salah was offside.
Shouldn't have been offside either.
Bruno to Botman, across to Schär, back to Pope. First time up towards halfway, high ball from the goalkeeper. Van Dijk heads it away. Botman then passed it straight to Luis Diaz. And then Botman intercepts at the edge of the area before Salah could get in. Newcastle with Trippier, looking to play forwards. Van Dijk clears. It was aimed at Isak's run. Now Pope out of his area, takes the touch and sticks it into the east stand. Liverpool throw near to halfway on the left-hand side with Andy Robertson. Van Dijk back to Alisson, who's a couple of steps out of his area, plays it down the right to Matip, inside, Schär's caught late, Gakpo, and free kick,
no complaints.
Right side of central midfield.
Just took him out about knee height.
0-0 on 3 minutes on BBC Radio Newcastle. The England boss Gareth Southgate is here among the spectators. Liverpool in their half of the pitch with Van Dijk. Short ball into Alexander-Arnold, who's supposedly at right back, but he was in central midfield there. Matip on the right of defence, now up to halfway, challenged by Gordon. Szoboszlai was offside, didn't go for it. Schär back to Pope, and then forwards to Schär in the D, 0-0. Bruno out to Trippier, closed down, inside to Schär. Gakpo nearby, then it's out to the wide area to Trippier, and then into the box to Pope. Botman can look to come forwards. Bruno drops in to get it, plays it across to Schär on the right corner of the area. Trippier inside to Tonali, first involvement for the Italian, gets away from a couple of red shirts, and then a long ball down the line that's probably going to go out for a throw, and it stayed in. There was no one able to chase, but it was a good burst from Tonali. Not quite the ball that he would have been looking to play. Salah in off the right wing. Gakpo on his chest. Handball by Bruno as he challenged. Liverpool free kick next to the D, next to the centre circle. Endo. He's got 50 caps for Japan. Back to the tall 6'5", skinny Joel Matip. Gordon, shoulder to shoulder with Alexander-Arnold. Newcastle throw.
Shoulder to shoulder
in the Liverpool half. Alexander-Arnold's kicked the ball away. And John Brooks, the referee, reaches into his pocket and shows him a yellow card in the 6th minute. Did you think that was a foul?
Yeah. Didn't think he barged him in the back.
Jurgen Klopp's off the bench, that's why the fans are booing. Now Joe Linton adjudged to a foul, the Liverpool player. Oh, they've taken the free kick from completely the wrong position, and Newcastle turn to the 4th official to appeal. Fans not happy as Salah goes on the attack into the box. Byrne and Botman get in the way. Gordon tries to run clear of Szoboszlai and Alexander-Arnold, who knocks him to the floor. Eddie Howe's out of the technical area. They want a red card for Alexander-Arnold. Trippier and Van Dijk run to the referee. Fans on their feet around us. He's not going to send him off. Absolutely no chance.
He might.
He's just going to talk to him, John Brooks. What are we? 7 minutes in. Joe Linton and Gordon are furious with the 4th official about where Liverpool took that free kick from. Alexander-Arnold, no further punishment. It's got the fans angry. Jurgen Klopp smiling on the touchline. Eddie Howe shaking his head. We're playing again 0-0.
It looked like a second yellow card, didn't it? He's walking on thin ice.
He's never going to send him off. Isak, Joe Linton free to the left, but the ball's behind him. And Isak disappointed with himself as he switched the play because Joe Linton had space. Liverpool throw Alexander-Arnold next to their bench, and Klopp with a black baseball cap having a chat with Craig Pawson. Trippier makes a challenge on Diaz. It's come to Robertson. Tonali with a block. Almiron then gets in to give Newcastle a bit of control of the ball, playing it back to Cher. Now driven for Gordon to get after into the corner on the left. Fans are really up for this. First attack for United. Gordon trying to get around Alexander-Arnold, who's defended well and cleared. Now Gakpo gets away from Cher. Botman heads on. Joe Linton plays it against Alexis McAllister. And it's a little bit open at the moment. It remains 0-0 though. Salah into McAllister on the right. 3 in this attack for Liverpool. Plenty back. One of them is Bruno. Diverts the ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, this is far too open. I would imagine Eddie Howe is feeling that way as well. It's been an interesting start. It's been an interesting opening. We're not even 10 minutes in.
Robertson's going to take it. It's come over from left to right to deliver the corner. Everybody back again. Botman is with Matip close to the 18-yard line, and they've got Cher on Van Dijk, Newcastle. Almiron by the front post. In it comes. Pope's off his line. Didn't get there again. No Liverpool player could connect with the ball. Then Salah and Tonali battle for it in the corner. Trippier wins it. Fouled by Salah. They will have the free kick rather than any advantage down the right.
Yeah, that's a couple of crosses he's come from, and he's got absolutely nowhere near them, Pope.
Was the foul there? No, well, like the one Liverpool took, it's a good 10 yards for the forwards. Yeah, it's the same. So at least he's being consistent.
Yeah, true enough.
In not applying the laws of the game. Pope to take the free kick, level with the 18-yard line. It was next to the corner flag, the foul. Down the right. Trippier rises to head on. Van Dijk away, Robertson up. And it's stayed in play. It's bent infield actually. Cher plants a big header on it. Isak then flicks it out to the right. Almiron and Tonali got in one another's way, but Almiron played the ball back to Trippier. So Newcastle still have it on halfway. 0-0 the score. And well, it's been a good game. 10 minutes. Cher on the diagonal. Alexander-Arnold with a comfortable header. And then Salah turns, plays it to Szoboszlai, inside away from Bruno. Joelinton with a firm challenge. Then into midfield, Liverpool go. Almiron picks up a loose ball, back to Trippier, chipped up towards Tonali, let it run, and Isak behind him couldn't get there. Back to Alisson, Almiron chasing. Goalkeeper plays it to the Liverpool left, down the line. Nobody there but Sven Botman, middle of Newcastle's half. This is BBC Radio Newcastle. And I think anything to do with Liverpool, anything to do with Jurgen Klopp, any sense they're not getting what they feel they're owed the fans, is going to get them worked up even more. And it's good for the atmosphere, isn't it? And it's lasted in the 10 minutes. It hasn't dropped off. And the next time they don't get something, it'll erupt again, won't it?
Yeah. To be fair, over the years, it doesn't matter. Against Liverpool, it's always been a good atmosphere.
It's the visitors who were 4 points behind Newcastle last season in the end, and one place, who've got the ball. Alisson driven through the middle, Botman with a header down to beat Salah to the ball. Dan Burn helping it on to Bruno on halfway. Bruno lifts it over his shoulder and away from a couple of red shirts, and McAllister fouls him a couple of yards in front of the centre circle.
It's a coming together, isn't it?
Free kick given by John Brooks.
They want yellow cards for everything.
No card for McAllister. Newcastle free kick. Have they got anything clever planned for this one, like against Aston Villa? Trippier's behind it. Tonali's pulled out to the left. Burns gone to the right corner of the penalty area. Almiron and Gordon a bit deeper with Tonali and Trippier, just in case. Every Liverpool player obviously back behind the ball. Floated by Trippier into the box, looking for Cher or Burn. And then a header by a defender, and Luis Diaz plays it against Almiron. And the Colombian wins a throw in the left-back position. He looked like he got caught there, Luis Diaz, but he's okay. And Robertson can take the throw. 0-0, 13 minutes on the clock. Diaz challenge, Joelinton got man on, leaves it for Trippier, back into their half to Cher. Botman. He's got Burn, just tucked inside Burn, almost a back three at the moment. Newcastle with Trippier up down the right touch line. Burn under a bit of pressure on the edge of the area, back to Pope. Gakpo closes down. It's gone square to Cher in the right corner. Trippier helped on to Tonali. Good play forwards now to Almiron. His first touch takes him on the outside of Robertson. Then he tries to beat him a second time. Good progress made by Almiron. Now cuts in off the right flank. On the outside to Tonali. Drives the cross in. Van Dijk flicks it away. Gordon will collect. 20 yards out on this near left side. Drops it off for Bruno. Drives it over to Trippier. On the goal line,
unlucky,
but couldn't keep it in.
Yeah, it's a great spot, great ball, great run, Trippier. Just his touch let him down, didn't it?
No saves made yet by either goalkeeper. Liverpool with a couple of corners. Newcastle haven't really threatened. But it's a really competitive match. Joelinton intercepts ahead of Gakpo in central midfield. Botman to Bruno. Laid off to Trippier. 10 yards behind halfway. Bruno now with a touch and then a pass to Botman. Misses out Burn. It comes to Anthony Gordon. Salah to take on. Szoboszlai there as well. Into Bruno. Space in the middle. Almiron free on the far side. Lifted over onto Almiron's chest, got up well to take it down under control. 0-0, Almiron to Bruno. Makes a couple of challenges, then finds Gordon edge of the area, and now Joelinton with a shot, having been set up by Isak, but straight at Alisson.
Yeah, he should have done better, shouldn't he? He's opened his body up. He's trying to bend it into that far corner, but he's just hit it too straight. Comfortable save.
Robertson. Trippier gets there. Onto his ball down the line. Bruno with it now, looking across to the left, slightly behind Joelinton, but he's helped it on to Gordon. Back to Byrne. Newcastle playing with it in Liverpool's half. Over to Bruno. Botman again on this near side. Ball caught under his feet, but he's been able to pick out a pass to Gordon, who's linked up nicely with Joelinton and could go himself here. Anthony Gordon. Deflected shot from 20 yards.
Better all of a sudden. Starting to get into the game, seeing more of us as an attacking force.
Now Alexander-Arnold's headed it around Dan Burn and could be away. Passes it inside, Fabian Schär intercepts. This is Bruno with a man on, Endo, and he skinned him. And then the ball up towards Isak, cut out by Matip. It's a disappointment because Newcastle could have broken there. Liverpool are now on the attack into the area. Luis Diaz, big danger. Pope, fantastic save at his near post to push the ball behind.
Got inside Trippier far too easy, didn't he? And then he's just toe poked it, and Pope's forced to make the save at the near post. Would have been disappointed if he was beaten there, by the way.
th minute on BBC Radio Newcastle. Robertson, left-footed outswinger. Szoboszlai and McAllister, hands on hips outside the penalty area. They haven't put anyone on either post, Newcastle. It's a delivery that's headed away, back out to the far side, and it'll be a throw for the Reds. Alexander-Arnold in a central position, straight into the box, onto the chest of Trippier and into the hands of Pope. Pope to Botman, Liverpool with a high press. So out off Salah and goal kick.
Yeah, they did press high as well, didn't they? They've got Gakpo and Salah in advanced positions. Three midfield players then just in behind them.
Anthony Gordon pushes across to the far side. Pope's going to take the kick from the right side of his 6-yard box. He's headed on by Trippier. Robertson away. Trippier with another header on. Then Almiron lifting it up. Isak can't get there before Van Dijk. Liverpool finds Salah. Botman gets in. Good header. And away by Liverpool. Schär onto Joelinton, down to Bruno, and teased out to Byrne. Steps over the halfway line. Up to Joelinton, laid off to Gordon. Drops his shoulder, comes inside, gives it to Joelinton. Away by Liverpool, then Salah just kept it in. Looked like it had gone out. Play goes on. Endo to McAllister. Tonali gets close and sticks with him. Tonali's pressure applauded, and it leads to a pass out of play from Alexander-Arnold. Byrne takes the throw. Exchanges passes with Joelinton, who holds off the challenge of Szoboszlai. Joelinton on the left wing, back to Tonali, under a bit of pressure, plays it through a little gap, back to Botman.
Good game, good pace about it.
Schär on halfway, over the top, but Trippier applauds. He's not going to get there. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, idea was right. Good run again, Trippier. Good intensity about it, isn't that?
19 minutes played. Alisson reaches halfway with a kick on the far side. Newcastle get the ball away, and it's back with Alisson. Forwards into the path of Matip. Straight to Byrne, and he's got options here inside. Joelinton, now a man on Gakpo. Isak takes it and is tripped by Cody Gakpo, the Netherlands international. On the left in Liverpool's half, Byrne gets them moving again. Back to Botman, square into the feet of Fabian Schär in the centre circle. It's Botman again. Now Isak, who's almost in central midfield here. He's taken a touch, couldn't get a second one, but Alexander-Arnold's put it out. And now Byrne with a throw to take. On this near side, next to Jurgen Klopp. Bruno tried to flick it through his legs onto Joelinton. Liverpool have made the block. Over the top now. Pope's left his area and heads it out.
There was a few oohs, wasn't it?
Took you back to February, didn't it? Salah chasing, Pope out of his box. There was a covering defender that time. Alexander-Arnold yellow carded and then escaped a second one a few minutes later. Endo back to Alisson. Robertson to Luis Diaz, who tried something tricky and clever, but he's passed the ball out of play. Trippier to Tonali. And Schär with it. Newcastle slowing things down, having possession in front of their penalty area. This is Bruno who receives it, then Gakpo quickly across to him. It's played back to Schär, inside to Botman. Byrne's available, Gordon's pulled out wide. Byrne has a look inside rather than going to Bruno, who was marked. Back to Botman, and he looks for Joelinton. Szoboszlai with him. Joelinton's turned inside, held him off. He's not going to beat him physically, is he? And Tonali lifting it around towards Almiron.
Trippier was the ball. Trippier was the ball. Just needed to roll it square to Trippier.
Went for a more Hollywood pass out to Almiron. Didn't quite make it. Newcastle have won it back from Liverpool. They've got a throw which they've taken. That's well done by Trippier, finding Bruno on the right in central midfield. Byrne just behind halfway now as they go back, and further back with Botman. Square to Schär. Angled ball to Bruno, onto Tonali. Nice layoff. Might have been a foul, nothing given. Not too many appeals. This is Salah, edge of the area, inside onto his left. Salah straight at Pope, and that's okay.
Yeah, you don't want them doing that too often, though, do you?
Quick throw out by Pope to Trippier. Newcastle galloping forwards, 4 in the attack. Left for Almiron. Back down the right wing to Trippier. Then the return for Almiron. He gets there. Only Gordon in the middle. Almiron taking on Van Dijk. Reaches the line, then turns back. Try to chip it in towards Isak. Liverpool with an interception. And now they try and play forwards down the left through Robertson, who's making progress. Tonali.
But that's where he's got half a yard again on his right foot. He always wants to check back.
Tonali doing enough to make Robertson play it early. And Newcastle have possession at the back again. Just doesn't have the confidence in his right foot, does he? In that position.
No.
Bruno, man on. McAllister played the ball forwards, but Liverpool win it back. Oh, Gordon's in! Anthony Gordon's away from a Liverpool mistake. Gordon slots it under Alisson! And of course it had to be the Evertonian who scores against Liverpool. Anthony Gordon's first goal for Newcastle here at St James's Park, picking up on a Liverpool mistake, running through and putting it beyond the goalkeeper into the back of the net at the Lees' end. 26 minutes played, Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 0.
Well, Alexander-Arnold's had a nightmare start and he won't want to see that again. I mean, it's a terrible mistake by him. Salah plays it back to him. He just doesn't get anything on it at all, and all of a sudden Gordon's through and he's not going to miss. Keeper comes, just rolls it by him.
Pleased for Gordon, who had a great pre-season. And he was fantastic against Aston Villa. Quieter last week, but he's been good so far today. And he opens the scoring just past the midway point in the first half, live on BBC Radio Newcastle. And he's having his name sung. And he would have been the one player Liverpool fans didn't want to score. And they had a good view of it down from the top of level 7 at that end. I think he got it through the legs of the keeper, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Liverpool with possession at the back, it's Matip. Salah behind halfway, Joelinton forces him backwards and then follows him. It's dropped off to Soboslai. Almiron gets out to stop Robertson running forwards. He's played it on to McAllister. Trippier intercepts. Now Joelinton, Gordon free on this near side, on halfway. Now he can take on Alexander-Arnold. He comes inside, he doesn't challenge him. It's Isak. Oh, down at the edge of the area, Isak. The tackle from Van Dijk. It's going to be a free kick, and it's a red card. Virgil van Dijk has been sent off by John Brooks for the tackle on Isak at the edge of the area. Jurgen Klopp can't believe what he is seeing. It will be checked by VAR Stuart Atwell, but Isak was about to be in at the edge of the area from the pass through, and the tackle from Van Dijk brought him down, and the referee brought out the red card, John Anderson.
Well, Van Dijk's got wrong side. He's definitely had a nudge on him. It's a clear goal scoring opportunity. This won't be overturned. This is a definite nailed on red card. Van Dijk got wrong side, and then he's forced to make the challenge and he gets nothing of the ball.
Well, normally we have replay screens, but when it rains they don't put them out for us, so we haven't had the chance to see it again to give you more information. But Van Dijk is arguing with the referee still. There is no information on the giant screen relating to a VAR check, which normally they put on to inform the crowd. It's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0. John Brooks the referee, Stuart Atwell VAR. Van Dijk has been told to get off the pitch. It will remain decision red card. Liverpool down to 10, and they could have been down to 10 men earlier. Now they are. Newcastle have a free kick on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, it's poor defending. As I said, he gets wrong side and then he's forced into making the challenge, and it's a nail-on red card. Joe Gomez is going to come on for Liverpool. They're going to make a substitution and introduce a defender. Van Dijk, slowly, the Liverpool captain, heads off the pitch. Well, they had a red card last week that stood and was then overturned on appeal. This time they're going to have to play for a lot longer, an hour rather than half an hour with a man less. Van Dijk talks to his manager on the way off. Liverpool staff are complaining to the fourth official. They're not really used to decisions going against them, but that's the way it is at the moment. 1-0 Newcastle. Gordon's goal involved there again, leading to the red card and the free kick. And here, left of centre, just outside the area, as the referee tries to calm everything down and get the Liverpool wall in place. They've got Trippier, Cher and Tonali and Joelinton, but Joelinton walks away, as does Tonali. Cher scored one at Spurs,
the season before last. We know what Trippier can do. So a couple of options here. Who do you fancy?
Trippier.
I'll go with Cher then. Joe Gomez waits to come on. 1-0 to Newcastle, half an hour played. Liverpool down to 10 men. And a free kick in a fabulous position. Trippier or Cher, or do they roll it to Tonali on the edge of the D? Or even Almiron further on? Maybe not. It's Cher into the wall, comes out to Tonali, who has a touch and then hits it, and behind via a deflection, corner on the left.
Poor free kick.
I didn't really think they were going to play it to Almiron. I was just wanted to see how you'd react. Now Liverpool, every player in red in the box. Tonali hanging back, Trippier to take an in-swinging corner towards Burn at the back post, headed across and caught by Alisson.
But they just left them all on his own.
Near the front post, Alisson, who slips as he kicks. Trippier gets up to flick it back, handball by Salah. Referee says play on. Gordon was covering, back to Pope. Still yet to make the change, Liverpool. Waturo Endo has dropped into the centre of defence, and McAllister and Szoboszlai, the two-man midfield. Salah right, Gakpo up front with Luis Diaz on the left. A goal up and a man advantage. Almiron runs over a ball and it goes straight to Endo. Carries it up to halfway, and then Gakpo's a mile offside, doesn't go for it. Pope leaves his penalty area and clears it to touch. Here's the change.
A substitution for Liverpool coming off.
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz.
He's about to take the throw in. Gakpo will probably go over to the left side. Maybe he'll go in the centre. Let's see how they do things with only 10 men. And Newcastle 1-0 up on BBC Radio Newcastle. 34th minute at St James's Park. Robertson back to Gomez, who's brought on in the second half of their win over Bournemouth last weekend. He's playing as the left centre-back, Matip on the right. Salah, pocket of space in the centre circle. Collects the ball, he's got two options to the left, gives it to Robertson. McAllister there as well. Back inside to Endo, who's now returned to his midfield position. Alexis McAllister trying to thread a through ball to Salah, laid off to Gakpo. Botman with an interception at the edge of the penalty area. Gakpo has it back. Robertson now takes a touch, lifts in the cross. Pope makes the claim.
Yeah, easy take.
Underarm throw to this near side, Dan Burn. A lot of space for Trippier on the far side of the pitch. They've gone infield to Bruno. Trippier still with room. Bruno can't get it around to him. Liverpool close off the space, and it's Botman now to Gordon, taking on Alexander-Arnold. Goes on the outside and gets away. Gordon then a step over and turns back into Joelinton, corner of the area. Burn has a touch, Joelinton again. Botman helps it over to Cher. 1-0 up. Looking for a second. Bruno gets it around Gakpo for Trippier. Into the area, looking for Tonali with a cutback. They'll have a corner. Few appeals for handball from Trippier's pass inside to Tonali, who made a good run into the area. Corner on the right.
Space is starting to open up. Liverpool down to 10 men. Space is all over the place now.
Trippier to deliver. He's rolled it to Almiron, short, back again. Trippier into the box, then the cross to the far post. Alexander-Arnold away, Almiron on his chest, and then touched onto the bar by the keeper.
What a save that is.
Unbelievable from Alisson to deny Newcastle a second goal. Great hit.
What a save.
Even better save.
It's one of those instinctive ones we talk about with Almiron. Doesn't have time to think about it, takes it on his chest, hits it first time, left foot volley. Fabulous save.
Another corner on the right. So close to going into a 2-0 lead. Trippier, good ball in, headed away. Almiron collects, has gone for goal again. With a shot that he lifted towards Alisson's left-hand post. But that was quite the moment in the match. Almiron and then Alisson with a brilliant diving save.
Yeah, great save. Great hit as well, to be fair to Almiron.
Liverpool out to the far side. Two went for the same ball, Robertson and Gakpo. Newcastle throw, ball back in play. BBC Radio Newcastle, 1-0. And Van Dijk sent off for Liverpool. Gordon can't keep in Botman's pass, he apologises. Half-time coming up. If you'd like to have a message read out, tweet at BBC Newcastle. Gordon getting back, good challenge on Szoboszlai.
Get up there with that.
Who's rolling around.
Get up.
And beats his fist off the floor. And now is okay to continue. Trippier into space on the right. Good ball in, looking for Joelinton. And Alisson didn't get there, neither did Joelinton in the middle. It's come for Gordon in the corner. Still on the attack. Gordon to Bruno, shifts it out of his feet, curls in the cross. Alisson punches, Trippier brings it down. Back to Almiron, who takes the touch and then hits. And that wasn't quite as good as his earlier one. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, it was another chance, wasn't it? Just lashed at that one.
What was Dominic Szoboszlai doing there when he rolled around?
They all do it.
Gordon's had a good half, hasn't he? Getting back there, scoring the goal, playing well. Robertson drops his shoulder. This is a good run into Newcastle's half. Down the line for Gakpo, miscontrols, away by Cher, Almiron to Trippier, and they've got possession. Inside to Tonali for Bruno. Three red shirts around him. Cher on the right touchline into Joelinton, helped on, Isak might be away. Sent him out wide, and it's beaten him. Throw. Liverpool on the left side of defence. Gomez to Endo. Gakpo dispossessed by Joelinton. Illegally. Is that a foul for you?
Yeah.
Oh, you were shaking your head. I wondered if it was because you disagreed or because
no.
It's Joelinton.
It's just a Joelinton tackle, isn't it?
Liverpool have a player on the floor. No medical attention required. Newcastle lead 1-0. You can also get us on WhatsApp. Send a message, put BBC at the start, and it's 08000 321 333. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. BBC at the start. And we'll go through some messages at half time. Robertson behind the ball, over the halfway line to Salah, flicked out wide to Gakpo. Almiron and Trippier combined to nudge it out of play. Gakpo, the £37 million signing from PSV in January, with the throw back to the goalkeeper. Oh, Bruno with a challenge on Endo. If he'd won the ball fairly, they would have been in, but it was a foul spotted by John Brooks. Gomez back to Matip. Alexander-Arnold inside to Gomez, who has 11 caps for England. Robertson to McAllister, 10 yards behind halfway. Liverpool possession. Newcastle 1 up. Alexander-Arnold now chipping it to the edge of the area. Gakpo, no offside. Pope's out of his goal. Gakpo sent wide, and Cher with a good block, and big Dan Burn does well. That's tidy defending, playing it to Joelinton, and what a ball to release Gordon. Almiron and Isak up ahead. Gordon can carry it 30 yards out, goes to Almiron on the right into the penalty area, through for the overlapping run of Trippier. Liverpool forced Trippier out to the corner. He's kept Newcastle on the attack, but then McAllister wins it. Played into midfield for Salah. That looked such a promising position for Newcastle. Fortunately for them, it comes to nothing. Szoboszlai on the right wing, middle of Newcastle's half, away from Gordon and Joelinton, who've given him a shove seconds after he gave Alexander-Arnold a shove. He's certainly fired up. Salah back to Endo halfway. Burn gives Szoboszlai a push. They could have been teammates and friends, but they're very much opponents today. 1-0 up through Gordon's goal. Van Dijk sent off for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold back to Matip. Newcastle keeping it tight in the middle of the pitch. Isak closing down Matip. Robertson back into Gomez. We're in the 42nd minute. There's Matip back to Gomez. Still Liverpool possession at the back. Newcastle have been able to push up though and force them back, and they go to the goalkeeper Alisson, edge of the penalty area. Gomez in the D to Endo. There's 4 black and white shirts in advanced positions. Gordon closing down Alisson, swung away by the goalkeeper. Big kick. Botman gets up with Szoboszlai, who's fouled him. Assistant referee Lee Betts is flagging. Whistle's gone. Newcastle restart with a quick free kick back to Cher and on to Trippier. Almiron involved as well. Taken by Almiron, back to Trippier, then Almiron once more, now Bruno. Back to Cher, and go down the right once more. Tonali takes a touch, and then back to Botman. Burn out to Gordon. This is where he likes it. This is what he wants, to take on Alexander-Arnold. Szoboszlai there as well. Inside it comes to Bruno. There's a runner. Almiron in the box. Gordon. Gomez rather with the header away for Liverpool. Joelinton nudges Endo to the floor, and this might be his final warning, or it might be a yellow card.
He can't keep getting away with it. He just runs straight through people.
Clumsy, I think they'll call it. Final couple of minutes of the first half. Could be a bit of time added on. There was a good stoppage after the red card for Van Dijk. Back to Alisson in the box, and now McAllister to Matip. Did well under pressure. Alexander-Arnold now might get away. Newcastle exposed down this near side. Not many Liverpool players in the attack. It's Salah just outside the area on the left. Robertson joining in, takes a touch. Back into midfield to Endo. Almiron working incredibly hard to press and challenge McAllister, but he pulled him back. It's a clear foul. And a free kick for the away team. North of 30 yards from the goal, in a central position. But actually to force them away when Alexander-Arnold had the entire right wing, and they looked like they could be getting in.
He had acres. Well. I'm not too sure where Dan Bourne had gone to. He's not going to shoot from here, surely.
Dominic Szoboszlai's put the ball down with purpose and confidence. Strides back from it.
Yeah, he's not. He can't shoot from there, can he?
They've got Alexander-Arnold, who we know is talented when it comes comes to free kicks. Szoboszlai has had a go, and it's too high. And there will be a minimum of 4.
A minimum of 4 minutes stoppage time to be added. 4 minutes.
Newcastle 1 up on 10-man Liverpool. A lot of fans now heading in for the half-time break. Tweet at BBC Newcastle or 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Put BBC at the start if you'd like to contribute to our half-time discussion of the match. Oh, ball that Tonali left for Cher, and Cher just took it. And he plays it into midfield, but Liverpool win it back. Szoboszlai to McAllister. Joelinton with a challenge, a foul. Oh, he let it go, and then he brought it back.
It's a foul. It's a foul all day.
He let it go and then brought it back. Why not blow straight away?
How many is he going to get away with them?
That's also a fair point. Free kick, the edge of the centre circle. Botman heads it away. They were looking to get Salah in. This is Joelinton back to Botman. Salah closes down. Oh, he's just got it back to Pope in the nick of time. And Pope left-footed, looking for Trippier, intercepted by Gakpo. And then Almiron and Tonali close to Gakpo, who hits the deck, and that's a free kick. Bit of frustration for Newcastle towards the end of the half. Liverpool through Robertson, looking to get what would be an unlikely leveller. Into the box it goes, looking for Gomez, behind off Botman.
Joelinton it was.
Joelinton, they were both there. Botman put out his leg, Joelinton was behind him, throwing himself at it. It is a Liverpool corner on the right. BBC Radio Newcastle. It's been a really good first half for lots of reasons. Chiefly that they are 1-0 up against 10 men. Alexander-Arnold, though, to take the corner kick. Almiron close to the near post. Everybody defending. It's an out-swinger, and it's just missed Salah at the back of the 6-yard box. He appeals for something. Liverpool play on with Szoboszlai, who has lost possession, then won it back on the floor. He's done exceptionally well. Now that's some superb play. Loads of challengers flying in, and Newcastle come away with it through Tonali on the right wing. Tonali trying to get away from Szoboszlai. Oh, and he has, and then goes down. Gomez with the foul next to the halfway line. That, to be fair, is great play all round from Szoboszlai in the box, and then Tonali with the run.
Yeah, Szoboszlai did brilliant. I mean, he's on the ground. He's got no right to win that. Great feet from Tonali, then down the touchline. Wins the free kick. 10 yards inside our own half.
Ball is back in play. 1-0 the score. Final minute of the additional period at the end of this enjoyable first half. Gordon, Joelinton down the line. One last attack maybe. Kept in on the line by Joelinton. Nobody in the box. Isak 5 yards outside the area. Been fairly quiet today, hasn't he? Even though he's involved in the goal. Gordon then makes a challenge on Szoboszlai, and that's a Liverpool throw. Alexander-Arnold to Szoboszlai, back again, then straight to Burn. There's the half-time whistle from John Brooks, who sent off Virgil van Dijk. Perhaps earlier he could have sent off Trent Alexander-Arnold. He gave him one yellow card, then decided not to for another foul a few minutes later. Newcastle led through Anthony Gordon after he pounced on a Liverpool stray pass, slotted it under Alisson for 1-0. Then came the red card. Van Dijk with a challenge on Isak at the edge of the area, straight red, and the visitors reduced to 10. Newcastle, John Anderson, 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the game overall, it's been pretty even. You know, neither keeper's really been well, Alisson's made the one save, hasn't he, when they've gone down to 10 men from from Almiron's volley, but it's been a pretty even game. I mean, the goal, Alexander Arnold's had an absolute mare. You know, all he's got to do is control the ball and lets it under his foot, and all of a sudden Gordon's clean in. But you'd like a second goal, you know, most definitely like a second goal really to kill it off. It's made an awful lot more difficult for Liverpool with Van Dijk sending off. He can have no complaints about the sending off either. You know, he's got wrong side of Isak. He's then forced into making the tackle. He gets nothing to the ball, brings him down, clear goal scoring opportunity. So it's a nailed on red card. So no complaints about that whatsoever. But it's been decent. A lot of intensity about it from both sides. You know. But you'd like that second goal, you'd like that insurance of a second goal.
Kicking down the hill towards the Gallagher end in the second half then, Newcastle with a man advantage and a goal advantage at half-time. Here on BBC Radio Newcastle, it's Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 0.
There are some tickets that you just don't want to win.
Congratulations! You've won a pair of tickets to the National Paint Drying Championship.
And there are some tickets you'd sell your own mum to win. Ahead of every Newcastle United and Sunderland home game this season, join me, Matt Bailey, for a chance to win tickets to St James's Park and the Stadium of Light.
The sound of the North East at breakfast. BBC Radio Newcastle, making a difference in the North East.
What a 45 minutes of football that was. Newcastle United leading Liverpool by 1-0 at half-time. Anthony Gordon, the Everton boy, scoring against Liverpool at St James's Park after 25 minutes. Liverpool could have been down to 10 men even before that point. Trent Alexander-Arnold very lucky not to get a second yellow card in just the 7th minute of the game. But then Virgil van Dijk given a straight red card a couple of minutes after Anthony Gordon scored. So Newcastle, a goal up and a man up at half-time. Full commentary of the second half coming, of course, with Matthew Raisman and John Anderson in just over 10 minutes' time. Lots more football being played around the country today. This is the third of 3 Premier League games for a start. The first 2 have ended in away wins. So Aston Villa 3-1 winners away at Burnley. Matty Cash scored twice for Villa inside the opening 20 minutes. Al Foster got one back for Burnley 2 minutes into the second half. Moussa Diaby made it 3-1 just after the hour mark, and that is how it finished. So Aston Villa winning 3-1 away from home, and Manchester City made hard work of it away at Sheffield United. They won by 2-1 in the end. Haaland, after just over an hour, gave Manchester City the lead. He'd missed a penalty earlier on as well. Bogle equalised though for Sheffield United with 5 minutes to go. 2 minutes after that, Rodri restored Manchester City's lead, and they held on to it until the very end. In the Championship, this was a lunchtime kick-off, so it finished a long time ago. Blackburn won by 1-0 away at Watford at Vicarage Road. Ryan Hedges scoring the only goal of that game about 20 minutes before the end. A couple of games in the Scottish Premiership as well this afternoon. Dundee had beaten Hearts by 1-0, and it finished in Mirren 2, Aberdeen 2, after Miovski scored a 100-minute penalty equaliser for Aberdeen. The first set of fixtures of the Women's Championship season were played this afternoon as well. They have all but one finished. The 2 that we're interested in have finished long finished, and Durham drew 1-1 away at Watford in the opening game of the day. Molly Lambert scored the opening goal of the day after just 2 minutes away from home. Carly Johns equalised for Watford at about 10 minutes before half-time. It was 1-1 at the break, and it was 1-0 at full-time as well. And then a very creditable 0-0 draw for Sunderland at home to London City Lionesses. They had the lion's share of the chances as well, did Sunderland, but against a team that were title contenders for a large chunk of last season, London City Lionesses. That is a very positive start to the season for Sunderland. And also, as I attempt not to be drowned out by the PA system in the background, Newcastle United women, we have to mention them as well, because they were in the determining round of the League Cup. It was their opening match of the season after last Sunday's game, which should have been the opening game of the season, was postponed. They were taken to extra time by Burnley, but a Becky Ferguson winger towards the end of that additional 30 minutes takes them through 3-2. Bridget Galloway had scored both of their goals in the 90 minutes. They were ahead twice and pegged back twice, Newcastle United. but they have won by 3-2 after extra time. So that is today's action. Sunderland's men were in action yesterday with a goalless draw at Coventry City in a game that really wasn't as bad as it sounds. 32 shots there were in total, but no goals, and the Black Cats again struggling without a proper striker. Their head coach Tony Mowbray admitting afterwards there was no guarantee that one would come in before the transfer window closes on Friday. Here he is chatting after yesterday's game to our Sunderland commentator Nick Barnes.
Tony, good point, clean sheet. You've been pleased with that beforehand?
Yeah, probably. Listen, the game panned out a little bit different than I thought, really. I thought we would come here and dominate possession like we did last year against them, and yet they were good first half with the ball. They picked us off, really, and pushed us back. You know, I was disappointed at half-time, and we readjusted a few things, and I thought we were better second half, and we got into some good positions, and just the final ball wasn't quite there today, as we could say in most of the games we played this season. It's, you know, the first 3 games we averaged 68% possession, and yet got behind teams so many times, yet couldn't find the pass to put the ball in the back of the net. But and that was a bit like that second half today. And yet you can always feel Coventry strategy. They look like they know where they're going with the ball when they get it, and their strikers, they obviously play 2 strikers and a 10. They're a menace, and I thought the concentration was good defensively today. I think we're always disappointed when we don't score, you know, and we went through the whole of last season without strikers, really, just about, and we continue to do that. But I think we try and find a way, and if there's an excuse for them, for the team, for us as a team, is that we don't have a killer, really, if that's what you want to call a number 9, a centre forward. But and I'm not sure we will by the end of the window, because they're not falling off trees, are they? It's really hard to find them, so or to prize them away, or to get them out of clubs. But we just need a little bit of help at that top end, really.
That's just suggested that you think it might be difficult still to get someone in up front this week.
And you know the situation at this football club. I'm not at the forefront of getting in. You know, I think the recruitment department have been amazing at this football club. You know, before my time as well. You know, Stuart Harvey, they recruited amazingly well to get out of League One, and they've recruited amazingly well to finish in the playoff positions last year. And I know that it's not through a focus and a dedication to the job that we found it difficult to supplement the strikers we already have, because we do have Ross Stewart, who will be ready not long after this international break. We do have Eliza, the young French kid, 18, who's powerful and dynamic and quick. He should be ready not too long after the international break. We've got Hamir, who came on today. So there's 3 strikers. You know, it's not as if we haven't got any strikers at the club. We just have to get them fit, get them on the pitch.
Tony Mowbray admitting for the first time that there might not be another striker through the door by the end of the transfer window for Sunderland. They drew 0-0 at Coventry City yesterday. That was, of course, Tony Mowbray speaking to our Sunderland commentator Nick Barnes. Non-league wise yesterday, it was a busy old day. Gateshead's mini winning run came to a halt at the International Stadium. Woking won 3-1 in the National League. That was despite a first half opening goal from Marcus Dinanga. They led at half time as well, did Gateshead. Ian Watson is Gateshead's assistant manager, and he had a chat with our non-league reporter Paul Dixon afterwards.
Ian, the last 2 games you've scored 4 and 4 and picked up 6 points, not to beat today.
No, I think first half we had a couple of moments where the final pass, if the final pass was better, then we would have been 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and that was 2, 3, actually 4 occasions that could have happened. And then obviously they get a little bit of a lift from that. They come out the second half. We try to play our game. I feel that our players were a little bit affected by sort of the atmosphere inside of the ground when we gave a couple of passes away. I think the fans turned on the players a little bit, which is fine. It's going to happen. We have to be able to deal with that. But I don't think we did deal with that, and we'll never come away from how we play and what we try to do. And the boys know that, and we know that. So we just need to get better at what we're doing, despite what the noise is, what the atmosphere is like. We have to keep sticking to our principles, because we know that we've recruited and we've got the players to play at the strengths that we've got.
And it's a difficult league. There's some top teams in the league, as you well know. You've been here before. You've just got to keep at it, haven't you?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's football. It's why we're involved in it. We love it. Obviously, the higher we can play, the better. And this is such a good league. You play against different types of opposition every week. everyone's in fix with winning, and I understand it because I am as well. But you've got to enjoy every single moment and just be sort of grateful that you're involved in football. And obviously we've got some unbelievable players, and they're a joy to watch. And the football club's so lucky to have them, and we need to enjoy them while we can.
And finally, you're at Halifax on Monday. You need to go and get something there, yeah?
Yeah, well, we look to the next game all the time, so today's result isn't important in terms of Monday. We would have wanted to go and win there anyways, so we'll have the boys back in tomorrow. We'll prep for Halifax, and we've got to keep the spirit high. We've got to go again.
Yeah, there is a full non-league fixture set of fixtures tomorrow. That's Ian Watson, Gateshead's assistant manager, talking to Paul Dixon. But elsewhere yesterday in National League North, Blythe Spartans, good run at the start of the season. Bet the buffers a little bit. A 3-0 defeat away at Buxton. They conceded 2 in 2 minutes in the first half as well, which didn't help. South Shields, though, won by 3-0 at home to Gloucester City in that same division. Paul Blackett in the first half, then Aaron Martin and Jed Abbey in the second. We will have live commentary, full commentary of South Shields' game next Saturday afternoon at home to Banbury United. It fits quite nicely in between the early Sunderland game and the late Newcastle United game. In the NPL Premier Division yesterday, at Morpeth Town beaten 2-0 away from home by Warrington Rylands. But in the East Division there were goals galore and 4 wins from 4 as far as our teams were concerned. The pick of the bunch in terms of excitement, Dunstan winning 4-3 at Belper Town. They were a goal up and a man up after 15 minutes, Dunstan, but then conceded an equaliser just before half time. Then they had Michael Pearson sent off just after half time, and then they went 3-1 down, and they were 3-1 down with 25 minutes to go, 10 against 10, but came roaring back. Luke Carr, David Robinson, and then a second Dale Pearson penalty a couple of minutes from the end, giving them a 4-3 win away at Belper Town. Consett scored 4 at home. They beat Sheffield by 4-1, all 4 goals coming in a 14-minute spell in the second half. 2 for Will Shaw, 1 for Zach Atkinson and 1 for Jack Gibbons. Hebburn did the same. They won 4-1 at home against Winterton Rangers. Liam Murray scored twice in the opening half an hour. He then hit the crossbar for what would have been a hat-trick penalty as well. Amar Purwell, having already scored a penalty earlier on in the game, gave up the chance to take the second penalty to give Liam Murray his hat-trick, and he didn't score it. Ollie Martin, though, did score the 4th for Hebburn as they won 4-1. And Ashington, a terrific 2-1 win for them away from home at Stocksbridge Park Steels. Charlie Exley in the first half, Mason Hardy in the second. And there were also 15 of our teams in the first qualifying round of the FA Vase across the weekend. It started on Friday night when Wycombe beat Campion 6-0, and then victorious teams yesterday included Blythe Town, who beat Chesley Street United on penalties, West Allotment Celtic, who beat Garfor 3-1, Newcastle Benfield, who also won 3-1, they were away at Colne, Heaton Stannington beat Thackley 3-0, and Bolden CA left it extremely late to score their winning goal, but they beat Steeton by 2-1, so well done to everybody in the FA Vase. Away from football yesterday, England ended their World Cup preparations badly with a 30-22 defeat to Fiji at Twickenham. The first time that Fiji have beaten England in their history. James Burridge was watching at Twickenham and says the visitors deserve to win.
3 second-half tries the difference. They backed themselves in attack. They beat England for pace out wide. They showed great continuity and belief. England rudderless, no shape, no confidence, unable to find any penetration. Fiji defended for their lives and grew in confidence and energy. This is England's first ever loss against a Tier 2 nation, one of their worst defeats at Twickenham in recent memory. There are going to be huge questions now for Steve Borthwick. Their World Cup preparations in tatters.
Yeah, they couldn't have gone much worse. Scotland beat Georgia by 33 points to 6 yesterday, despite being 6-0 down at half-time. They came back somewhat in the second half. Today in cricket, in the women's event, the Southern Brave, this is the 100 finals at Lords, I should say. The Southern Brave beat the Northern Superchargers by 34 runs to be crowned champions. In the men's final at Lords, the Oval Invincibles play the Manchester Originals at 6 o'clock. Liverpool are back out on the pitch. Newcastle United aren't quite, but the music's stopped, which makes it sound like feels like the second half should get started very shortly. Therefore, I will hand back with Newcastle United leading Liverpool at the break by 1-0 to Matthew Raisbeck and John Anderson.
Half-time highlights.
Total Sport Northeast.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
McAllister played the ball forwards, but Liverpool win it back. Oh, Gordon's in! Anthony Gordon's away from a Liverpool mistake. Gordon slots it under Allison! And of course it had to be the Evertonian who scores against Liverpool. Anthony Gordon's first goal for Newcastle here at St James's Park, picking up on a Liverpool mistake, running through and putting it beyond the goalkeeper into the back of the net at the Lees' end. 26 minutes played. Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 0.
Total Sport North East.
Matthew Raisbeck and black and white legend John Anderson.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
That's the only goal of the match, but Liverpool also reduced to 10 men following a red card for Virgil van Dijk for a challenge on Alexander Isak when he was the last man, edge of the area. Looks like the right decision. We've reviewed it at half-time. So the visitors have 10, Newcastle full complement of 11, and a 1-0 lead here on BBC Radio Newcastle and NUFC TV. Second half is 15 seconds old. Newcastle kicked off, black and white stripes against the visitors, all in red, and kicking towards the goal to our right at the Gallagher end in the second half. No changes, full run through of the two sides in a moment. It's with Botman, Newcastle, possession in their half of the field. Byrne to Gordon, who comes in off the left wing and then sweeps it across to Cher. Chipped up, aimed at Joelinton, away by Liverpool. Byrne beats Szoboszlai to the ball, and now Gordon to take on Alexander-Arnold on a yellow card. Gordon with a cross into the 6-yard box that Joe Gomez gets clear, but it almost had Isak tapping the ball in. It's a great ball by Gordon, and Newcastle so close to having a big chance to make it too. Trippier looking to play forwards. Almiron makes a run down the line. He's giving it inside to Bruno. Pushed out to Byrne on the far side, and Gordon again. We've got the extra man and he's got loads of space. Gordon, step overs away from Alexander-Arnold. Now the cutback. Isak tries to help it in at the near side, but Alisson makes a save. More exciting play though from Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, no pace on the cross though, was there? He's done well. He's done Alexander-Arnold again.
Gakpo for Liverpool in between the Newcastle lines, takes it into their half of the pitch. Down he goes. Tonali there, Joelinton there, free kick. Jurgen Klopp turns and stares at the fourth official. All in black with a bit of mint green on his Liverpool jacket, and then walks towards Craig Pawson in between the two benches, and it might well be about Joelinton's persistent fouling. It's 1-0 to Newcastle. Pope, Trippier, Cher, Botman, Byrne, Tonali, Bruno, Joelinton, Almiron, Gordon, Isak is the 11. Liverpool free kick in front of the centre circle. Alexander-Arnold with his blue boots behind the ball, chipped into the box, goal kick. Liverpool, Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Gomez, Robertson. Midfield is Szoboszlai, Endo, McAllister, and then they have Gakpo and Salah. Although it's kind of it's like a 4-4-1. Van Dijk red carded in the first half. Newcastle's bench, by the way: Dubravka, Lascelles, Wilson, Target, Barnes, Livramento, Murphy, Anderson, Longstaff. No Lewis Hall in the squad today. Almiron on the right wing, back to Trippier. They've just had safe possession, Newcastle, over the last 30 seconds or so. We've been looking at the two teams. 49th minute. Cher to Trippier, down the line for Almiron, takes it back with his first touch, did well, under pressure, then back to Cher, out to the left, Byrne to the man who's hearing his name chanted at the moment, Gordon, inside to Botman. Trippier now in the centre circle, onto Bruno. Tonali's got a bit of space and two options to the left. Lovely ball off the outside of the right boot to Joelinton. A step over and away from Alexander-Arnold. Now the cross, Almiron, oh dear. Oh, that probably ought to have been 2-0.
Well, it's one of those that he's got time to think about again, isn't it? He just skies it straight over the top, doesn't get over it. Joe Linton does well down that left side, good pullback, he's coming on to it.
It missed Isak in the middle, it came to Almiron and too high. They win it back from the Liverpool play out from the back, short from the keeper to Matip, and then Trippier with an interception in midfield. It's found Tonali, first time ball out to Almiron, inside to Bruno, closed down by Salah, dropped off at Trippier. Then Almiron down the line, first time back to Trippier, moving the ball around Newcastle. 1-0 up against 10 men. Bruno, too much on that for Tonali. McAllister, caught late by Trippier. Botman, good challenge. And the ref
brought it back for the...
He's brought it back, and he's going to boot Kieran Trippier, which is celebrated wildly by the Liverpool supporters. Must have missed Alexander-Arnold escaping a second yellow after 6 minutes. That's all it can be.
He's missed all of Joe Linton's 7 fouls.
Well, we've all, yeah.
Can't have it both ways.
Robertson, Eddie Howe,
oh dear, that's awful.
Wondering why they took so long over the free kick, but if they're going to do that, take as long as they want. Byrne with an easy control, uncontested on the far side, and Trippier in the centre circle to Schär to his right. Trippier, that inverted fullback again, isn't it? Rolled forwards to Tonali, chipped back to Schär under pressure. Barnes, Longstaff and Murphy out for a warm up and a jog along the touchline. 1-0 to Newcastle. Trippier back to Pope. Botman onto Trippier. Tonali's gone into the centre. He's found him with a lovely ball outside of the right boot. Tonali holds off Endo and then tries to get Almiron in, but Andy Robertson well positioned, good defending, takes it forwards, runs into Trippier and out off Robertson. Newcastle throw.
Runaway train, wasn't he?
Fans interacting with Jurgen Klopp. And then a diagonal ball from Schär cross field. Joe Linton slipped.
He's going backwards and he just loses his foot.
Robertson back to Alisson. Oh, Matip in a bit of trouble on the edge of the area. Gomez, Tonali on his shoulder. Away down this near side, and Newcastle collect the ball through Trippier. Bruno's played the ball to Almiron. Back 5 yards to Trippier, then another 5 to Schär. Across the halfway line. Byrne takes a touch down the line to Gordon, wants to be positive and get turned. He's going to throw off Alexander-Arnold, 35 yards from goal. Byrne back to Botman. Eddie Howe very calmly, hands on hips, talking to Almiron as the ball comes over to this near side and finds the Paraguayan. Tonali down the line, Almiron cuts inside. Had 3 players to hold off, gives the ball to Schär, Salah at his back. Cries of man on, given to Trippier, now Bruno, nice turn, and away from Endo, brilliant from Bruno, fantastic. Now options to the left, Gordon, onto his right, into the penalty area, Gordon then goes for goal, straight at Alisson.
Yeah, good play again, great little turn, Bruno.
Alisson with an underarm roll out to Gomez, away from Isak. Giroud plays it straight to Almiron, and then as it comes back to Gomez, he puts it out. Trippier with a quick throw for Isak. McAllister with him.
They're all over the place at the minute, Liverpool.
McAllister sees it behind. Goal kick for Alisson. Newcastle, they've got 5 players on the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool still go short. Gomez back to Alisson, next to his right-hand post. And to Szoboszlai. Spurs touch takes him back into the penalty area. Then Matip in the corner, who gets it back again from Alexander-Arnold, and then Gordon wins it, and the high press worked. Nicely played by Newcastle on that left side. Joelinton to Gordon, man on. And it's gone out off Gordon eventually, Liverpool throw.
I don't see why Liverpool keep doing it. Down to 10 men. It's a 5-man press, and they're still trying to play 4 against 5.
Applause as Callum Wilson goes out to warm up, and then Newcastle win the ball back in Liverpool's half. BBC Radio Newcastle. In the 56th minute, Gordon inside away from Alexander-Arnold, a return ball to him from Joelinton. The cross, Tonali into the area. Oh, he couldn't take it under control properly, and Alisson picks it up.
Once again, Liverpool all over the place.
Oh, McAllister getting lucky with Bruno making the challenge, and then Trippier onto another red shirt, and then Liverpool give it away. Newcastle all over them. Could do with getting a second at this point. Tonali's given the ball away. 1-0 up, Liverpool have 10 men. Dan Burn fouling Dominic Szoboszlai just at the back of the centre circle. Alexander-Arnold making the run, but the ball's too straight, and Trippier heads it back to Pope. They look for the diagonal pass. Newcastle defended it. Gordon to Joelinton. He's gone back to Burn instead of the 1-2 with Gordon. Trippier inside, in between his two centre-halves again, picking up that position and getting the ball. McAllister closing down, back to Pope. Share on the right, that's where the ball goes. Rolled down the right wing to Almiron, onto Trippier, now Tonali. Tackled by Gomez, Trippier's got it and can release Tonali. He can get away. Sandro Tonali heading into the penalty area. Good ball played across. Alexander-Arnold turns it behind with Gordon and Joelinton closing in. Lovely break down the right side. They get a corner. They might be about to take it quickly. They have. Gordon to Burn. Back again. Here's Bruno. Takes a touch, then hits it over the top.
Liverpool are all over the place at the moment.
Double change for Liverpool. Waturo Endo going off, and Harvey Elliott, 20-year-old midfielder, coming on, and Cody Gakpo being replaced by Diogo Jota.
Yeah, it's been a baptism of fire for Endo. It's all happened too quick in there for him. It's passed him by. Gakpo's been a passenger.
What about that break down the right side?
Yeah, I mean, again, Liverpool give it away. Good pace from Tonali. Got himself down that right side. Good ball played inside.
Cher rises and beats.
I've got it.
Diogo Jota in the air. Didn't quite come as far as you. Here's then second touch Cher, which was to stick the ball into the Milburn stand. Robertson with a throw to Salah. They've dispossessed him. Tonali back to Trippier. Ball forwards to Tonali again. Back to Cher, and Newcastle recovering the ball so well from Liverpool. Leading 1-0 against 10 men. Here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Tonali and Cher exchange a few passes. Cher to Tonali again. Up to Almiron. Isak on the move on the inside. Almiron now out wide to Trippier. Wants it back, Almiron. Trippier has chipped it into the box to Isak. Collects it back to goal and pushes it back to Trippier. Inside to Tonali. 30 yards out. Ooh, just away from Bruno with his pass. And Salah's able to intercept. McAllister now with this ball. Szoboszlai inside, and they're in trouble, Newcastle, for the first time in this second half. Diogo Jota into the penalty area. behind off Joe Linton for a corner.
Didn't know what to do, did he, Jota? Got caught in two minds, in the end wins a corner.
Boos for Szoboszlai. Puts the ball down with his white boots. He'll deliver the corner kick. We've once again brought everybody back, Newcastle, to defend, and Almiron near post. Decent delivery, but Joe Linton heads away from the 6-yard area. Gordon then chases the ball into Robertson on halfway. Liverpool have it on the left wing. Szoboszlai keeping it in with his head, did well. Away from Trippier, onto Diogo Jota. Tonali recovering. Newcastle try and clear on this right side. This is Bruno under a bit of pressure. Liverpool win it back. Diogo Jota. Burn challenges Salah once and then twice. Joe Linton went in on Elliott. Liverpool have the ball. Still leading 1-0. Newcastle with Alexander-Arnold across into the penalty area. Comfortably and easily cleared, but straight to Matip in the middle of United's half. Anthony Gordon, scorer of the game's only goal. We're now into the 61st minute. Salah sent out towards the right wing, near to the penalty area. Elliott to Alexander-Arnold, chips in the cross. One clearance, then another. Gordon with the second ball. Gomez header. Isak adjudged to have fouled it. Robertson with the set-piece delivery for Liverpool. Salah making a run across the edge of the penalty area. Ball didn't go early. Robertson curls it in, headed up and over. Goal kick.
Yeah, it was had never troubled Gomez. It was who got himself in there. Robertson's floated the ball in, but it was a header that never troubled Pope. Always flying well over the top of the crossbar.
How do you see the game at the moment, John Anderson?
I think we're controlling it, but you would like that second goal, as I said.
Burn to Gordon, looking to get away down the left wing. Alexander-Arnold with him. Gordon has stopped and turned and gone back to Bruno in midfield. Liverpool getting red shirts back. Bruno's ball floated over to Trippier. Almiron next to him, level with the edge of the penalty area, out wide. Almiron into Bruno, could get it back. Instead it's gone to Trippier. No offside. Back to Tonali. Bruno available as well. Tonali to Trippier, and again. And Tonali turns. McAllister with him. Tonali trying to win a corner. He's crossed it into the box, and it's Robertson who's there. Almiron does a good job on holding up Robertson, and then Newcastle force McAllister to play it back to goalkeeper Alisson. Headed down the line from his kick out, and Robertson's done well to combine with Diogo Jota, but Joe Linton is there, recovering the ball. Snuffing out that Liverpool counter-attack. Newcastle 1-0 up. Eddie Howe's black and white army is the cry at St James's Park. Burn to Gordon, he's got space again. Isak on the move inside. Gordon comes in off the left wing. It's a good run from Gordon, he's still going. Still Anthony Gordon! Oh! It would have been a cracking goal, but he's off target with a right-footed shot from 18 yards.
Just opened up for him, didn't it? And he just kept going, seeing the whites of the post. It's not that far wide.
Salah forced to play back to Szoboszlai. Still in their defensive third here, Liverpool. McAllister straight to Trippier. Bruno onto Joe Linton. Gordon could be played in. They've gone to Tonali instead. Tonali held by Szoboszlai, still going. Skips away from Elliott and pushes it back to Burn, who comes forwards and then goes wide left to Sandro Tonali. Inside to Botman, now Bruno. Trippier free, and it comes to the captain. Takes a touch, doesn't cross, comes back into Bruno in the centre. Botman to Cher. Liverpool, every player behind the ball. Newcastle trying to pick the right moment. Isak on the edge of the box. Gordon's made a run off. They don't play forwards, they go square to Cher again. Now Almiron back to Cher. Trippier on the touchline, gets it. Couple of touches, then away from Jota, who's tripped him. And the referee gives Newcastle the free kick out on the right wing, 20 yards from the Liverpool goal.
Yeah, he's just done him, hasn't he? Trippier suckered him in, and he's just had a little nibble. Jota.
Trippier with the free kick. Gordon's come over. Trippier's giving him some information. And Jason Tyndall shouting from the bench as well. Salah is the only Liverpool player behind the line of vanishing spray. Burn right in the centre of the box. Botman there as well, still looking for a first Newcastle goal. Trippier, good delivery. Oh, headed wide.
Just couldn't get above it, could he, Botman?
It was Botman, and Cher threw himself at it as well.
Just flicked off the top of Botman's head. Good delivery again, Trippier into a good area.
And it flashed wide of Alisson's goal. '47th appearance today for Sven Botman, the 23-year-old defender. Still that goal eludes him. Jota, Salah, oh, they could have trouble here, but brilliant defending. Botman at the other end this time, off target with a header from a Newcastle free kick, but then back to make the sliding block to stop Mo Salah equalising.
That's a great defending. Just threw himself in the way of it. He was about to pull the trigger. Salah, brilliant defending.
This is why they need a second goal, even against the 10 men of Liverpool. Szoboszlai with the corner from the left. Pope punches clear, and it's come out for a throw 25 yards out. Callum Wilson is going to come on in a minute. Gomez across halfway. Newcastle pushed up and putting the pressure on Liverpool. Matip to the United half. Wilson will be introduced probably the next time the ball goes out. Salah, it's going to be a corner, they might wait. Right hand side this time for Liverpool's corner kick midway through the second half, and Newcastle still a goal up.
You'd like that second goal.
Harvey Barnes is going to come on too. Andy Robertson with a left-footed corner kick, swinging in towards the Newcastle goal. It's a header from Joe Linton, and it's out for a corner on this near side. He got it well, Joe Linton. Szoboszlai, corner kick taker, and that's whipped in dangerously, and Newcastle get it away from in front of Nick Pope. Don't think the keeper touched it, I think it was a defender, then sent back in from the left wing, and
another
corner kick. Botman, Cher and Burn, they were all in there. Difficult to know who got the touch. Barnes and Wilson wait to come on. Eddie Howe having a chat with Harvey Barnes. I'd be surprised to see Gordon go off, but maybe they could move him over to the right side. 20 minutes to play. Another Liverpool corner. Robertson. Plenty of whip on it. Great header clear by Dan Burn to halfway. Alisson in the Newcastle half is there for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold chipped back into the box, straight through to Nick Pope. I thought they were booing, but they're actually shouting shoot, aren't they, to Pope, because Alisson was well out of his goal. Ball's at the feet of Sandro Tonali. Sven Botman across to Fabian Schär, closed down by Dominic Szoboszlai, back to Nick Pope. He's gone long through the middle. Trippier wanted it played out wide. Gomez with a header, and then Bruno will win that one in the air. It's come from Matip, brings it down. Gordon then makes a challenge. Matip under a lot of pressure, pushes it back to Robertson. And he lifts it over to Alexander-Arnold, far side of the pitch. Harvey Elliott, former Fulham player, back to Alexander-Arnold. He's gone long with the ball. Fabian Schär, cushioned header down. Tonali forced backwards by pressure from Liverpool, but he gives it to goalkeeper Pope. Newcastle on BBC Radio Newcastle. Still leading by a goal to nil against 10 men. Tonali looking for Joe Linton. Liverpool got a boot on the ball, but it's still under United's control. They've come over to Trippier on this near side. He tries to come away down the right wing, chips it towards Almiron. It's gone out. Now they're going to make the changes. Yes, they are. So Isak coming off to be replaced by Wilson.
And replacing him, and number 9, Callum Wilson.
Going to be 3 changes. Sean Longstaff's going to come on. And it's another straight swap. It's Harvey Barnes for Anthony Gordon. And Tonali will get a breather. Longstaff on in his place. So all like-for-like changes.
Yeah, I'm surprised Gordon's off. I think he's been excellent on that left-hand side.
Gordon got a standing ovation. Well, they all did.
The third substitution for Newcastle, number 8, Sandro Tonali, replaced by number 36, Sean.
Alisson out to his box with Wilson almost on top of him. He's had to flick the ball away to the right side, and Liverpool have cleared it. Joe Linton's got it now, and here is Harvey Barnes straight on into the action, trying to get Wilson in, cut out by Matip. And Liverpool giving it away from a pass out from the edge of their area again. Newcastle got the ball on the floor. Botman, Schär on the inside. It's played around Salah. And to the feet of Trippier. Almiron with Longstaff for support, but he's going to hit the space, run down the wing. Comes back to Trippier. And now Bruno. Centre of midfield. Botman onto Joe Linton. Back to Bruno, moving the ball around, making Liverpool work. Here's Barnes. 3 substitute appearances for him so far. Back to Byrne. No pressure on Botman.
Great ball.
Almiron keeps it in for Trippier. And then it's given back to Almiron by Trippier. Moved on to Longstaff. Back to Trippier. 30 yards out on the right. Almiron with a flick down the line for Longstaff. Goes for the first time cross. Wilson header at the near post.
Oh, it was a difficult one. Had to really use those neck muscles to get on target. Real difficult one. Good play again though.
Longstaff went for the first time cross and got it into the middle. Wilson was in near post area, near side of the box, but couldn't get the header on target. Botman doing well at the back and giving it to Barnes, who aimed it towards Joe Linton, but it's McAllister with an interception on the touchline, far side. And back to Alexander-Arnold. 1-0 to Newcastle. Long ball forward, Salah chasing, Pope gets there again and heads it out into the east stand. 75 minutes on the clock. There's a second ball on the pitch. Liverpool took the throw, Newcastle got one of their own, but another ball has appeared and it'll restart the game with Newcastle throw. Clearance from United as Jota goes down in the box, appeals hopefully for a penalty, never getting it.
Just ran into Trippier and then threw himself to the floor.
And they went back from the throw, cleared it to Liverpool, long ball into the box, then Jota hit the deck. And now Pope to Botman, short ball out from the back, given to the goalkeeper again, and clipped out to Trippier. On his chest, inside to Almiron, Longstaff for support. Almiron carries it, Longstaff getting on his bike, down the right wing, Almiron heading in towards goal, what a run! Miguel Almiron, is there a finish? Off the post! Off the post from Almiron!
That was.
Barnes with a cross, it's a corner. Oh! Well, Alisson made a brilliant save to deny him in the first half. There he would have scored one of the goals of the season, and probably surpassing anything he did last year. It was unbelievable from Almiron, and the curling left foot shot clipped the base of the...
Just opened up for him, didn't it? Just picked it up, started running, nobody came to him. He's cut inside, he's whipped it with his left foot. Alisson's beaten, hits the outside of the post. So unlucky.
That was almost the second goal they crave and that they are looking for from this corner. They've left Longstaff back and Almiron and Barnes outside the area. Trippier to deliver, it's high to the back post. Joelinton heads down into the 6-yard box. It was straight against a red shirt, unfortunately, for Newcastle, and put out for a throw. Another substitution for Liverpool. We're going to see Alexis McAllister leave the field.
Substitution for Liverpool, coming off number 10, Alexis McAllister, and replacing him, number 9,
number 78, Jarrell Quansah is coming on, and Darwin Nunez will replace Joel Matip.
Substitution for Liverpool, coming off number 32, Joel Matip, and replacing him, number 78, Jarrell Quansah.
Jarrell Quansah, by the way, 20-year-old centre-back. Not the most muscular, he's only 20, 6'3" though, and came through the Liverpool Academy. He was playing for Bristol Rovers on loan last season. And Darwin Nunez, you remember from last season at Liverpool, big signing last summer, the forward. Newcastle feel they should have had a free kick for a foul on Wilson. It's gone the other way, and Eddie Howe is questioning the assistant referee on the near side. Robertson gets play going again. 12 minutes remaining of normal time. 1-0 up against 10 men. Gomez, Almiron
did well.
Closing him down. Gomez in a bit of a sticky situation. Got clear. It's back with the goalkeeper once more. Soboslai to the substitute, Quansah. Harvey Elliott, good play looking to stretch Newcastle. Darwin Nunez brings it down. Dan Burn doing great defensive work. Joelinton drops his shoulder, gets away from Elliott and plays in Harvey Barnes. Wilson in the centre. Barnes held up by two defenders. Deflected shot. Wilson with a header, trying to guide it towards goal.
Got caught in two minds, didn't he? Didn't know whether to square and a shoot.
And Alisson,
but yet again, Alexander-Arnold's all over the shop.
Oh, we had a couple of those against. Three of those against Aston Villa. One that led to a Wilson goal, one was a Barnes goal, and the other, Barnes played Wilson in and it was saved. And a bit of confusion maybe. Danger at the other end though. Diogo Jota, but Dan Burn again with brilliant defending to clear, covering round the back. It's 1-0. They've got the extra man, Newcastle. Bruno fouls Soboslai, closer to halfway than the box. And while it's only 1-0, There's always that threat. They need the second goal. And they've taken off a midfielder and put another forward on. Szoboszlai square to Elliott. Back over to Robertson. Alexander-Arnold, furthest player back near the front of the centre circle. Over to Elliott again. Joelinton with a challenge on Quansah. Joelinton's gone down. Darwin Núñez helping him up. Referee has gone across to check on the situation. He'll be all right. Liverpool take the throw. BBC Radio Newcastle. We'll be on for a bit after the game as well. Tweet at BBC Newcastle or WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Put BBC at the start of your message. Alexander-Arnold, ball on the floor, up to Salah, helped on to Jota. Now looking for Darwin Núñez, who's got in around Botman. Darwin Núñez scores! Liverpool get an equaliser. The ball hit Sven Botman and fell nicely for Darwin Núñez, and the 10 men are level with 10 minutes to play. Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 1.
Well, it's a good finish. Just gets his body shape all wrong, doesn't he, Botman? Hits him on the back, falls into the path of Núñez, who still has a lot to do, and he just rifles it across Pope into the bottom corner.
That's why a second Newcastle goal was so important. And now 10 minutes plus added on time with an extra man to try to get in front again, but Liverpool will have their tails up after equalising. Elliot Anderson's going to come on now. And he will replace Joelinton.
Substitution for Newcastle coming off number 7, Joelinton, and replacing him number 32, Elliot Anderson.
Sean Longstaff kicks off. Bruno into the Liverpool half to Harvey Barnes.
We spoke about that second goal, didn't we? Spoke about needing that second goal.
To go and get it. Botman clipped over to Trippier on the touchline, takes a touch and back to Schär. Into Botman, Liverpool behind the ball, Newcastle on halfway. Botman over to Schär, back to Botman. Burn available to the left. Trippier wanting it played diagonally, doesn't come, it goes to Burn. Now Botman looking for that ball to Trippier. Diogo Jota back to chest it down to Robertson. Burn with a free header, but straight to Szoboszlai. And now Jota on the left wing. Liverpool getting players forwards. Newcastle with bodies back. It's into the box. It's Darwin Núñez. Back to Jota. He's missed it. Elliott and Salah are there. And now Szoboszlai trying to get the shot away. Blocked by Burn. And Almiron up to Wilson. Might have been a push in the back, nothing given. It's with Barnes on the left side, heading towards the halfway line. You're listening to BBC Radio Newcastle, 1-1 now. In front since the 25th minute through Gordon. A couple of minutes later, Van Dijk was sent off. Darwin Núñez has just equalised for Liverpool. Almiron wants to be played in on the right wing, doesn't get it. Botman to Bruno, he's picked up a bit of space, fouled by Szoboszlai. Next to the centre circle. And there's a yellow card there for
Núñez.
Núñez or Elliott?
No, Núñez.
Or Núñez. Almost 8 years since they last defeated Liverpool. Ball into the box, Botman header, but it's gone behind. It was a header across goal rather than an effort on target. It's gone down in pain, and the physio comes running on. It's so disappointing, isn't it, to have the lead for so long against 10 men and the Liverpool get in.
Yeah, you always felt the threat was there, though. That's why we kept going on about that second goal. I mean, to be fair to him, it's a good finish. There's not a great deal Pope can do about it. He just drills it straight across him into the bottom right-hand corner.
Botman receiving treatment in the Liverpool box. He looks in quite a bit of pain. Target, Lascelles and Murphy are warming up. They've called for Matt Target. They're obviously going to put Dan Burn inside. The doctors come running on. It's not a player that you want to lose to injury, Sven Botman. And are they getting the stretcher? Yes, they are. He's on his feet. The stretcher has been brought onto the pitch, but
he looks in a bad way, doesn't he? He doesn't look great. At least the good thing is he's on his feet and he's hobbling.
Being helped off by physio and doctor, and on comes Matt Target. Dan Burn going to centre back. What have we got left? 4 minutes of normal time. 1-1 at St James's Park.
And replacing him, number 13, Matt Target.
Botman helped around the pitch. It's a big blow. Trippier wins the header. Wilson trying to find a teammate. It's come for Bruno. And Alexander-Arnold heads it back into midfield. Bruno on his chest, Longstaff nearby. Liverpool win possession back, then Bruno to Longstaff. Anderson finding Barnes on the left wing. Anderson goes beyond. Barnes gives it to him. Back to Target. First touch for the substitute. Anderson on his right, on the left side, into Bruno, back through into the box.
It's $1 million ball.
Applauses for Botman, who is nearing the Newcastle bench and the tunnel area, having made his way around the Gallagher end goal. Alexander-Arnold on the stretch, back to the young defender Quansah. Newcastle have it, and Barnes might get onto it in the area. Forced wide into the corner. Anderson, couple of touches, keeps possession, back to Bruno, and then pushed back to Cher close to halfway. Liverpool penned in. Never be a better time, better game to get a late winner. Target down the line for Barnes. Into Bruno, back through. Oh, it's come for Almiron, blocked by Robertson. Hit it first time, Almiron, and Robertson with vital Liverpool defending. Some appeals for handball, nothing given. We're playing on. Back to Pope from Target as Liverpool tried to break, and then out to Anderson, and now on to Bruno. Trying to finish strongly Newcastle and win the game. Through for Longstaff, might hit it, does hit it, but Allison down low to make the save.
Got it out of his feet, opened up for him. Comfortable stop in the end.
Cheers are because Allison's taking a while. It's all the way through back to Pope. And we've got a minute of normal time to play on BBC Radio Newcastle. One apiece. A couple of chances there for United. Trippier to Cher. and again. Now Almiron. He's on the move, down the right wing, away from Szoboszlai. Into the box, Wilson onto it, lifted over the top. Beat the defender to the ball, but got underneath the shot, Wilson. Referee's whistle indicating he wants Alisson to hurry up. Craig Pawson, the fourth official, is about to show us how much time is added. It's 5 minutes. Newcastle throw on the right, their half of the field. Trippier to share. Burn now at centre half, with Botman off injured. Bruno to target. Bruno on it now, in the centre circle. Almiron to Trippier to Almiron. Down the line for Longstaff. He's got Gomez with him. That's a goal kick. Wilson places the ball on the 6-yard line for Alisson, who picks it up and moves it.
Is it tight? Is it?
Referee keeping an eye on it. Liverpool head upfield. And we've played about a minute of the minimum 5. 1-1 after Nunez's late equaliser for the 10 men. Trippier back to Pope, closed down by Nunez, left-footed away from the goalkeeper. Gomez holding on to Wilson. Referee might have felt they were holding on to each other. Now Diogo Jota, challenged by Bruno, and that's a Liverpool free kick on the left in central midfield. Szoboszlai behind the ball. They've left 3 back. Jurgen Klopp's team. Szoboszlai plays it back to Gerald Quansah. He's chipped it forwards. Alexander-Arnold making the run, but Pope's there. An overarm throw out to Target. Barnes down the line. Target inside to Anderson. And there's a great ball by Elliot Anderson. What a pass that is. Kieran Trippier takes a touch and then teases it in. Sean Longstaff trying to get it around Alisson at the near post. Not sure he really connected with it as he made the run into the box, the darting run, and Alisson is able to gather it. Now into the 3rd additional minute. Newcastle got time for one more chance. Share with a header, Bruno on his chest, trying to play it to Anderson. It's a red shirt, and Darwin Nunez is in. Darwin Nunez has scored! Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. 10-man Liverpool have turned it around at St James's Park, and Darwin Nunez has surely won it in added on time. They just have a hold over Newcastle United. Just cannot seem to beat them, and the most improbable outcome against 10 men, leading all the way to the 80th minute. Now in the 93rd, it's Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 2.
It's a great finish again, isn't it? We give it away. Bruno gives it away in the bad area of the pitch yet again. Salah, they break. Good ball down the line. He gets a run on. I think it's Dan Burn he gets the run on, but he still has a lot of work to do. And yet again, he fires it across Pope.
Well, a massive result this will be for Liverpool, but a huge blow for Newcastle. It's a game they should have had won, and they've got a minute to try not to lose it. Trippier long ball forwards, Wilson with a nod down, Barnes in the area, pushed away, up to Jota and Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool looking to try and get a 3rd goal. Nunez onto Jota, right wing, Salah in the middle, Szoboszlai there as well. Jota into the box, back it goes to Alexander-Arnold. throw next to the corner flag, Liverpool. And time is ticking away, 30 seconds of the additional period is all that remains, unless the referee adds more on. Liverpool cross into the box, one last chance to go forwards. Cher, long ball, Gomez has missed it, Wilson gets onto it, right side, surrounded by red shirts, and down Wilson goes. No free kick though. Liverpool out for a Newcastle throw. Longstaff, got to be fast about this. Gets it back from Trippier. Longstaff down from Soboslai's challenge. This will surely be it. Got to take the free kick. Pope's going up for the free kick. Kieran Trippier on the right. A touch over 30 yards from goal. A couple of yards in from the flank. He's going to stick it in there to try and rescue an equaliser. Player down in the box. It's Longstaff, and there was a push on him surely from Nunez or Gomez. Referee is having a word, and now Trippier can take the free kick. Alisson's left a big gap on his near side. Trippier stuck it in. Pope goes for it, and it's up off the keeper and behind. And the cheer from the Liverpool fans, because they know that they are virtually there. Goal kick now, and then surely we'll get the whistle. There it is. Liverpool have come from behind to win in a cruel and heartbreaking way for Newcastle, in a way that you just wouldn't have seen when they were 1-0 up and playing against 10 men and on top, but they missed good chances to extend the lead. Almiron in both halves, other opportunities that they had, they didn't take, and the equaliser from Nunez came late, the winner came even later, and a gleeful Liverpool celebrate on the pitch. Newcastle looking dejected. It's well, stunned St James's Park, that late turnaround.
Yeah, a substitute comes on, made all the difference. Big, strong, powerful runner. 2 good finishes, but we kept saying we needed that second goal. You know, you always felt that Liverpool were a threat. You needed that second goal. It didn't come, and we've been punished for it. You know, the game was all, I always felt the game was in the balance, because we were only 1 up. You needed that, even though you were playing against 10 men, you always felt that Liverpool carried a threat, and we needed that second goal, and unfortunately we weren't able to get it.
2 defeats in a row then leaves them with 3 points from 3 matches, and after the euphoria following the 5-1 win over Aston Villa, Newcastle now with back-to-back losses ahead of a trip to Brighton on Saturday tea time. 3 points out of a possible 9, and still early days, still the first month of the season. A lot of fans left after the second goal from Nunez. Those that are still here are applauding Eddie Howe and his players who go around the pitch, which they do win, lose or draw. And a message on the giant screen at the Leazer's end says thank you for your support. It's Liverpool again, isn't it? I mean, it was Anfield last August with the injury time winning goal coming from behind. Today it's at St James's Park. They just, for some reason, can't get the better of them.
No, bogey side. I suppose you've got to give Liverpool a little bit of a credit, because they dug in. You know, they were down to 10 men for a long period of that game, and they dug in, they defended well, they broke when they could. But it's bitterly disappointing. You know, you're 1 up for such a long period of the game. What, 8 80 minutes, and really you should be able to see it out, and we weren't able to do it.
Jurgen Klopp doing his thing in front of the away end, which has Liverpool fans cheering. Eddie Howe, Kieran Trippier, Jason Tindall heading off the pitch in Newcastle colours now, and a week to prepare for Brighton, something we'll talk to Eddie Howe about shortly, and you'll be able to hear the interview on BBC Sounds and on the BBC Radio Newcastle Twitter page at BBC Newcastle about the injury to Sven Botman, which is another problem on a bad day, and whether they might have to go into the transfer market again, because he did say the only reason that they would go into this situation where they could sign another player would be if they got injuries, plural. But Botman is such a huge player for them.
He played well again today. He was unlucky for the first goal. He just got his body shape wrong, and it's just hit his back. Fell into the path of Nunez, who still had work to do, and it's a good finish. But his overall performance was excellent. He made one great block as well, and you just hope it's nothing too serious for the boy, because he's a big player for us.
We'll be staying on for a little bit here on BBC Radio Newcastle. You can get some messages in to Colin, who'll be here in a moment alongside Ando on WhatsApp. Put BBC at the start, and the numbers 08000 321 333, and text start your message with BBC again, shorter number 81333 if you're texting, and on Twitter it's at BBC Newcastle. It was going well when Anthony Gordon put Newcastle in front. It got better 3 minutes later, just before the half-hour mark, when Virgil van Dijk was shown a straight red card, but Newcastle couldn't get the crucial second goal that they threatened, that they pushed for, and Liverpool made them pay. Nunez on 81 minutes, and then a dramatic, horrible late winner on 93, and it finished at St James's Park. Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 2.
People are talking about AI ending the world. At the minute, AI just seems to be good at providing people singing people's songs.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
There's an AI of Frank Sinatra doing like loads of modern songs and stuff. It was really cool. Do you want to hear the latest one? Do you want to hear the latest one?
Yes.
So Sam Fender's song being covered by Homer Simpson.
The sickness was forever. Cold September's, the distances we covered.
It's the song you never thought you needed to hear.
He's better singer than I thought.
Because you're when you thought.
He lost it a bit there, didn't he?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Like, if AI is just going to do this and not take over the world, I'm here for it.
The sound of the North East at breakfast. BBC Radio Newcastle, making a difference in the North East.
That is not how we saw the second half going at half-time. Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 2 the final score, because Darwin Nunez scores twice in the 81st and 93rd minutes. Liverpool having had 10 men from the 27th minute. Get in touch with us. We are on air until 7 o'clock. Send us some messages. 0800 234, well, that's the phone number, isn't it? 0800 234 6565 will be the phone number when Total Sport is back at 6 o'clock tomorrow. But if you're going to send us some messages tonight, the WhatsApp message 08000 321 333, 08000 321 333. Start your messages with the letters BBC. 81333 is the number. If you're going to send us a text message, you can send us voice notes via WhatsApp as well, the same number, 08000 321 333. John Anderson still alongside me here at St James's Park. He now empty St James's Park, and all the noise that you could hear as Matthew was rounding up the game a couple of minutes ago, Ando, came obviously from the Liverpool away support, because on a national scale, all the national headlines are going to be brilliant Liverpool performance. They were down to 10 men for 75 minutes and they've come back and won the game. That's great. How much credit do you give Liverpool? How much blame do you apportion to Newcastle?
A little bit of both, I suppose. You've got to give Liverpool credit for hanging in there and staying in the game. I didn't think we were clinical enough. I mean, we just kept keeping the ball. We need it, and I kept saying in commentary, we need that second goal, because Liverpool still, even though they were down to 10 men, they still carried the threat. You know, when they broke in numbers and got themselves in behind. Nunez coming in, his movement was great. And to be fair, two top-class finishes, two really good finishes. But we needed that second goal. Liverpool just kept hanging in there with a lot of the ball second half, but I don't think we moved it quick enough. We didn't move Liverpool around. We kept playing in front of them, letting them see the ball, letting them... We passed it from side to side, but with no real pace. So Liverpool just shuffled all the time. So the ball was in front of them all the time. We never got in behind. We never played balls in behind, down the side of centre-backs, moved centre-backs about. But it's disappointing. It really is disappointing. It was an evenly balanced game. Even though Liverpool were down to 10 men, it was still evenly balanced. It wasn't as if we were battering them and going, oh, yes, I know Alisson's made a wonder save from Almiron in the first half. It's a great save, and then Almiron hits the outside of the post. But neither keeper's really been called upon. Alisson's never been called upon to make wonder saves all game to keep them in the game.
Well, he didn't make a single one in the second half, and obviously Almiron hits the post, which Alisson wasn't getting to if it had been the right side of the post. But Newcastle moved the ball side to side and it was all very neat, but it was all a little bit one-dimensional.
There's got to be more intent. You've got to move the ball with intent, and I felt second half we didn't move the ball with enough intent to try and hurt Liverpool. It was all about trying to take the sting out of it, just keep it, and if need be, okay, we win 1-0. But you never felt comfortable at 1-0 because, as I said, you always felt that Liverpool carried a threat.
Yeah, there's a couple of I'm going to say angry messages. I'm going to come to them in just a moment. William has sent one and Gordon has sent the other. But John has sent us a WhatsApp message. The WhatsApp number 08000 321 333. Starting messages with the letters BBC. John says, Ando, does Eddie Howe need to take some blame for the substitutions today? And this is one I wrote down during the game as well. Taking Tonali and Gordon off was a bad move, I thought at the time, says John. And it didn't look right in hindsight, either words. Definitely 2 points dropped.
Well, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
3 points dropped.
Yeah, but I thought Tonali and Gordon were having an influence on the game, so why would you take them off? Look, I'm not going to criticise Eddie Howe because the job that he's done here in the time that he's been here has been first class, second to none, so you're not going to call him out. You live and die by as a manager by the changes that you make and the substitutions you make and one thing and another, and he obviously thought that taking Gordon and Tonali off, maybe he thought they were running a little bit on empty. I don't know, and he felt that they needed a rest. And look, people will have a go, but we've been speaking for so long about not having anything on the bench that you can bring on.
Yeah.
Now, he looks at the bench and he sees what he's got on the bench. I can make changes, and it's not going to weaken us. So you can't really have it both ways.
So, well, I'll read you those two then, because William says, bubble burst, 2 matches and the test has failed miserably. 1-0 up against 10 and losing means that questions will be asked. Eddie Howe under pressure for the first time, admittedly, William says, and repeating last season won't happen. And Gordon says, absolute disgrace of a result, not to score against a 10-man side and then not marshal the game out. Our so-called good defending was disgraceful. God help us when we're in the Champions League, says Gordon. Are they overreactions or not? Are there points in there?
Well, I have to admit, since the start of the season, I don't think we've looked as solid defensively. I mean, you go back to the Villa game here that we've won 5-1, but Villa could have scored 4.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of it. They got in, they played through us, they had chances, they didn't take them. Last week, people go, oh well, we only got beat 1-0, but if Haaland had had the shooting boots on, could have had a hat-trick.
Well, funnily enough, Dean has sent a message as well. Says that was the disaster people were expecting Manchester City to be.
I never thought it was going to be. I never thought it was going to be easy today, but I just think when you go 1-0 up, they then go down to 10 men and you play 70 odd minutes, whatever it was, against 10 men, and then you get into the last 10 minutes and you're 1-0 up. I thought we showed a lot of naivety. You should kill the game. You should say, okay, well, we're not going to get a second one. We'll kill the game. We'll play the game in their half. We'll keep the ball. And we didn't do that. We tried to force it a little bit later on and we kept giving it away, and all of a sudden they kept breaking. Salah kept finding little pockets on that right side, and all of a sudden Nunez came in and he kept running those channels, and it caused problems for us. But he'll be asked about it, Eddie Howe. You know, he'll be asked why he made the substitutions that he made. But as I say, managers live and die by those decisions.
Yeah.
You know, if we'd have held on and won 1-0, everybody would go, that was brilliant.
Yeah. Injected energy at the right time,
gave us a little bit of energy. Fresh
thing,
legs coming. Yeah. And how many times do you hear people going, oh, well, it's great because we've got 15 minutes to go. You look at what we've got on the bench. You can bring on fresh legs, quick legs against tired defences. That's what he did, and unfortunately it didn't work.
Yeah. Let me take you back to the first half, and I'm aware, and I will point out to people that because it's been raining for so much today, we've not had any television replays in front of us, which had it been dry, all the TVs would have been in front of us. So I don't know if you've seen either Virgil van Dijk's red card again, or the one yellow card for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the second one that almost certainly should have been. I don't know how you feel about them both.
I think he should have been. He was silly kicking the ball away for the first one. I mean, Razor said he thought it was shoulder to shoulder. I didn't. I thought he got barged in the back, but that's another matter completely. Yeah. But he shouldn't have kicked the ball away, picked up the yellow card, and then he should have picked up a second yellow card. The Van Dijk one I thought was, there's no doubt about it in my opinion. I haven't seen it again.
That it's an obvious goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, it's a clear red card. He gets wrong side. He goes asleep and he gets wrong side of Isak. Isak, and he may well get a little bit of the ball, but he gets Isak as well. And in my opinion, it's a clear goal scoring opportunity, and the red card was right.
Talking of Isak, is that maybe the biggest contribution he made today?
Yeah, he wasn't great today. He was poor. Well, no, that's wrong. He wasn't poor. I think because of the standards that he set himself, you expect him to be on fire week in, week out. But it was one of his quieter games today, that's for sure.
And just finally, there is another week, but it's a heck of a big week before Newcastle play again, because there's a Champions League draw, there's a final day of the transfer window where...
Cleared.